Nissi was suspended earlier this year following evidence at the Madlanga Commission that he leaked the city's confidential documents to his friends and may have participated in a tender rigging scheme. Forensic reports commissioned by the municipality found no evidence of impropriety against him. Tabiso Goba reports.
During a closed-door council meeting last night, councillors had to consider whether the allegations against Chief Financial Officer Gareth Nissi were serious or less serious. Most councillors voted to classify them as less serious. This means the highest form of sanction the municipality can mete out against Nissi is a warning. Opposition parties in Tshwane are outraged with the decision. Meanwhile, following the recent turmoil in the city's senior management, mayoral spokesperson Samkelo Mgobozi says the municipality remains stable.
The executive mayor's foremost responsibility remains providing stable and effective government to the residents of Tshwane. We wish to assure residents, municipal employees, investors and all stakeholders that the work of the city continues uninterrupted.
At this stage, it's unclear when Nissi will return to work. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
The NPA alleges 3 corruption-accused senior Ekurhuleni employees ignored 2 recommendations for suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi to be disciplined. Mkhwanazi, former city manager Imogen Mashazi, suspended head of legal services Kemi Bihari, and suspended HR head Linda Xashega appeared in the Germiston Magistrates Court yesterday on corruption charges linked to more than 1 million rand. Mkhwanazi and Bihari were granted 50,000 rand bail, while Mashazi and Xashega are expected to apply for bail today. Madlanga Commission reports.
According to the state, the accused defied recommendations from both IPID and the head of the EMPD to institute disciplinary proceedings against Julius Mkhwanazi in 2023. Prosecutors say former city manager Imogen Mashazi allegedly ordered officials to halt the process. The state further alleges Mashazi, Kemi Bihari and Linda Xashega acted in common purpose to shield Mkhwanazi from a disciplinary hearing. In return, Bihari and Xashega allegedly received salary increases that were never approved by council. Prosecutors also claim Mkhwanazi inflated his own salary package after being recommended for the senior EMPD post he now holds by altering the band to a higher level than the one advertised, with Xashega allegedly motivating for the increase. Madlanga Commission, Eyewitness News.
New Agriculture Minister Willie Okamp has reached a settlement agreement with organizations that took the department to court over its foot and mouth disease vaccination program. Subject to legislative loopholes still to be overcome, Okamp has allowed the private sector to import its own vaccines. Okamp has been in his position for at least a week since taking over from John Steenhuisen, whose undoing is largely believed to have been as a result of his clashes with farmers on this matter. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
Minister Willie Okamp met with farmers groups yesterday to dampen the tensions over government state-controlled vaccination program. He says the agreement reached will not impact the mass vaccinations, but will rather ensure more vaccines flow into the country. This despite his predecessor, John Steenhuisen, saying it had been difficult even for government to ensure a steady pipeline of vaccines to deal with the rampant outbreak.
There is absolutely no way in which government on its own would have been able to solve the foot and mouth crisis. It would not have been possible.
But industry will first have to cross the bridge of becoming registered importers by the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority. It's a hurdle SAI chairman Theo de Jager believes can be overcome.
The challenge now is to get as many vaccines into the country as we can.
In the meantime, de Jager has appealed to farmers to stick to government's rules on the import of vaccines and the vaccination of cattle. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
And at least 12 people have died in a wildfire in southern Spain. Authorities say the blaze broke out yesterday in hamlet of Beda, where around 150 firefighters have been battling it as temperatures increase. One of the victims is a woman who suffered burns and another person with smoke inhalation. Eyewitnesses say the blaze may have started after a power line fell, igniting dry vegetation before spreading rapidly in the area. Authorities are yet to confirm the cause of the blaze. Spain has experienced increasingly frequent and prolonged heat waves in recent years, with temperatures often exceeding 40 degrees, creating conditions for major wildfires. Gold is trading at $4,123.82 an ounce. The rand is at 16.32 to the dollar, 21.89 to the pound, 18.66 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $76.44 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North between the Airlines Interchange and Van Buren Road. That's due to roadworks there. There's also queuing traffic in the city of Tshwane, the R80 South, just as you approach the hairpin bend. Please be on the lookout there.
And in your sport, Mbappe and Dembele sent France the World Cup semi-finals with a 2-0 win over Morocco. At Wimbledon, Mukova beat Goff and will face Noskova in the women's final tomorrow. And after a tough start to the year, Volko Low is grateful to be back with the Boks for tomorrow's game with Scotland.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng, Johannesburg starting at 3 degrees, peaking at 20, Pretoria 4 and 22, Vereeniging 3 and 21 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, Tshwane's CFO Gareth Nissi will return to work after misconduct allegations against him were classified as less serious.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
We're calling on Joburg to walk the inner city with us. In 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Babize bonke. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
702
Live
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Seven minutes after 6 o'clock. Dumelang, happy Friday. Welcome to 702 Breakfast. Clement Manyatela here, in for Bongani this morning. Thank you for joining us here on 702 and for starting your morning with us. I hope you're good and that your week is going well so far. Hello from the rest of the team here in studio. Palisa is on the ones and twos. Sia and Rofiwa are taking your calls. And Amo Ramela has your traffic. Muteo will bring you business news. Muteo and Amo, are you good? It's a Friday. How could we not be good?
It's a Friday.
So, does Amo always arrive at 4 a.m. in the morning or 4:30 in the morning with so much energy?
Always.
She walked in today.
There's never a doubt.
At like around 10 past 4.
No, it's 10 past 5. It was 5. Yeah.
Are you like that even at home?
Yeah, even at home. I wake up in the morning. My energy's already up. I'm singing.
Oh my goodness.
Talking with my natural voice, not the sleepy kind of a voice. Yeah, that's
If she's
me.
quiet, we worry in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I got anxious hearing her that excited so early in the morning.
To work on my energy.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, I need to work on myself. All right, so we'll be taking your calls on 011-883-0702 throughout the show today. You can send your WhatsApps as well on 072-702-1702. So, I was late today, right? Normally, I plan to get here at 4. I arrived at around 4:30 today. You know why? Mm-hmm. Because for the first time today, I had to clean after my dog, my pet, Ossie. And it was the first time, I've had Ossie from the time he was a couple of days old, right? Which is like a year and a half or so ago. And I've never had to clean after him, right?
Yeah.
There's always someone maybe who's helping out in the house. And today I had to do it because he helped himself out in the shower. And there's a reason for that because he's quite a well-trained dog. You know, he normally goes out, but yesterday we slept early because I've been doing breakfast for over the last 2 days. I'm in bed by 7 p.m. So, and when he was trying to get out, I didn't open the door for him. But the point here is, for the first time ever, I've had to do something that I felt so uncomfortable to do because I'm quite, you said the word is? Squeamish.
Squeamish, yeah.
I'm quite sensitive. So when I was young and I used to vomit, my mom used to come clean up after me. I couldn't clean after myself because I would vomit while cleaning my own vomit, for instance.
So you're easily disgusted.
So I'm easily disgusted. Yeah. And it's just the nature a character I've always had as a child. And my mom understands that. But as you grow older, it's very difficult to get people to understand
I want
that.
to know how you managed this morning.
So here's how I managed. So I took my a scarf and I sprayed cologne around the scarf and I put it on covered my nose and mouth. And then I went and I didn't even look. I just cleaned out looking the other way. And you know what happened?
You threw
I
up.
still threw up.
You know it's not radioactive, right?
I mean, you never know. So I want to ask if this morning, if there are things that you've ever had to get accustomed to or adapt to as an adult because of responsibility. Because I mean, I have a dog, right? I have a pet. I need to adapt to certain things. When a pet vomits, I must get to a point where I can clean. You know, I can clean after the dog. And I suppose as an adult, even with your children, there are certain things that you're uncomfortable with in the beginning, but you had to learn to adapt to. Do you have those? Do you change diapers?
Yeah,
You've never had issues with that when you started?
Well, it became a big joke, especially with our first child. Like, my wife used to send me the videos of other dads who were gagging while they were changing diapers, and she'd be like, "Are you going to be ready for this? Are you ready for this?" And I was like, I actually wondered what I would do, but it wasn't a big deal because, I mean, you just hold your breath for a few seconds. That's about it. And that's your child, man. So...
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see when I get there. I hope I won't be like that because I would want to change my child's diapers.
You'll need a whole lot more cologne.
Really?
Let me tell you.
Amu, do you have something that was uncomfortable that you had to learn to just adapt and get used to as an adult?
Growing up, my dogs that were my dogs, right, were usually my brother's responsibility because I didn't have to either clean after it or, take it to the vet for whatever, right? But now that I'm older, if we had a pet, it's going to be my responsibility. The two pets we've had in our house, and the dogs love me. There's nothing you can do about that. They just want your attention. I'm the one that feeds the dog. I'm the one that cleans after the dog. I'm the one that takes care of the dog. It's a lot of work, right? But for me, it's not an issue. Like, I'm not as squeamish as you are. I'm not easily disgusted as you are. I'm quite a strong character. In fact, when it comes to those things, I'm the one to clean up to someone who's actually ill after throwing up or something like that, right? But it's the waking up early.
Yeah.
Parenthood will train you to be an early riser, even if you aren't.
Even if you're not.
Yeah, because sometimes maybe the baby is up at 3 a.m. in the morning and you can't go back to bed because they are up. They are just, they are awake.
Yeah.
And also just preparing them for certain things, maybe school or whatever. So it has to be the waking up early in the morning. That is my one.
Sure. Why? What is that one thing for you? Is a question I'm asking you this morning that you just had to learn to get used to and adapt, that one responsibility when you realize adulting wasn't as glamorous as it looked. And I think for me, it was this morning when I had to clean after Aussie. And I've got to learn to adapt and do it. Even if I vomited today, I really don't know how I would deal with it because my mom would be the one who helps me out. But if I don't know where I would go to because, maybe I can go to Amu because she doesn't mind these things. Joking. So please give us a call on 011-883-0702 to share your experiences with us as an adult, those things that were uncomfortable for you. You can send WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. Oh, they're asking for Ossi's full name. Ossi's full name is Osiqinisayo. I named him Osiqinisayo. In short,
did not have that on my bingo card at all.
And he's got a second name also.
No, I can't.
You don't use that name anymore?
No.
Okay.
Let's stick with Ossi, okay? Osiqinisayo. Before 7 o'clock, we're going to do the political desk with EWN reporter Alfara Mushwana. It's been a busy week in South African politics. We've had major developments in the courts, at the Madlanga Commission, and across state institutions. So we'll give you a wrap of some of the big political stories, current affairs issues that happened this week just before 7 o'clock. After 7 o'clock for our big interview, the focus will be on Ekurhuleni corruption arrests. Remember yesterday, 4 senior Ekurhuleni officials, including the former city manager Imogen Mashazi, appeared in the Germiston Magistrates Court following dramatic overnight arrests on charges of fraud, corruption and defeating the ends of justice. The DA in Ekurhuleni is saying this is but a tip of the iceberg. So they're calling for a much wider probe. So the DA Ekurhuleni mayoral candidate Katuchelo Rasilingwane will join us. And then, of course, the usual What's Gone Viral with Jonathan and Adam Gilchrist, who's got the world view. Mateo, what are you asking us today?
I want to know this morning, when you buy clothes or shoes, is it a matter of quantity or a matter of quality? Are you a person who, you care about how long you can own an item, or you more fast fashion? It doesn't matter as long as I have the item that I need at that moment.
Yeah, I'm more strategic about, I think, long term. Like, I need to buy stuff that I know is going to last me for the next 2 years, for the next 4 years. And I know you strike me as someone who's got like 1,000 shoes, Amu.
No.
Really?
Not at all, not at all.
So it's
wouldn't tell us
quality.
even if she did.
Yeah, I go, now that I'm older, I go for quality and not
Quantity.
because, when I was younger, you used to give me, if somebody gave me 1,000, I would go splurge it at Mr. Price and I would be good with a lot of outfits. But now it's about, okay, I need something that's going to last me, that's quality, that, even when you wash it, it can survive a couple of machine wash. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What about earrings? Because you've got a lot of earrings. And I think you've mentioned before that that's one thing
I buy. Even if you don't have money, even if it's not in the budget.
You just buy earrings.
I walk by a jewelry shop. I, walk in. I don't walk by. But that I buy a lot.
Okay.
And quality, quantity, doesn't matter. As long as it's an earring that I like, I buy it.
Yeah. Okay, so what is it for you? Do you worry more or consider quantity when you're buying stuff, or is it more about just the quality of that product? Share your thoughts with us. Send us a WhatsApp voice note or give us a call. It's 17 minutes now after 6.
Morning, Clement and the team. Clement, you're gonna get into trouble. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. Judith in Pretoria.
702.
Weather.
All right, let's look at what you can expect in terms of temperatures in your areas today. In Johannesburg, temperatures expected to start at 3 degrees, peaking at 20. Pretoria, lows of 4, peaking at 22. Vereeniging, lows of 3, highs of 21. You can expect a fine day in store for Cape Town, along with southeasterly breeze, a low of 11 and highs of 17. In Bombela, temperatures there expected to begin at 11 degrees Celsius, expected to peak at 23. Bloemfontein, lows of 2, highs of 22. Kimberley, lows of 3, highs of 24. In Mahikeng, you can expect temperatures at 4 degrees and they will peak at 23. In Durban, you can expect partly cloudy with isolated showers and rain starting at a low of 16 and peaking at 22. In Gqeberha, lows of 10 and highs of 17. And in Kugompo City, you can expect temperatures there at 10 degrees, expected to peak at 19. Now, this EWN weather was brought to you by Samsung Air Conditioners. Stay warm your way.
Yeah, winter. A dozen layers of clothes just to feel warm. And the aircon wars at the office never end. But when you get home, Samsung air conditioners bring you efficient heating, ensuring tailored and family-friendly comfort indoors. So, stay warm your way this winter. Shop for your perfect fit at Samsung stores, participating retailers, or speak to a friendly installer today.
EWN Traffic.
19 minutes after 6 o'clock. Amo, how are we looking on the roads this morning?
Well, Clement, we've got delays on the R80 South approaching the hairpin bend coming out of Rachel de Beer. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N1 South towards Midrand, queuing traffic already between Samrand Avenue and Olifantsfontein Road. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N3 North roadworks, in fact, are causing these delays. This is between the Earlands Interchange and Van Buren Road. Please be on the lookout there. And if you come across anything else, we're still on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Come on, Clement, just man up, man. Just man up. Some of us have had to suck mucus out of our babies.
Oh, no.
Kid is blocked, and the only way to have is to suck the mucus out of their nose. Dog,
no ways.
Dog is nothing, man.
Is that a thing? Do people do that? Oh, yeah, I'm getting goosebumps just listening to that.
So, Clement, Yabona, when it comes to nurses, I think those people are, as in, hands down, like I bow down to nurses because they witnessed, like, the worst of the worst. Like, if you had an issue with the dog, just the dog, okay, not to say that I'm undermining your dog and stuff, but imagine the things that nurses see and then still wake up every morning because of the love of the job. You know what, hands down, I respect nurses. Khotso from Don Park.
Okay, Clement, we can hear you. Mama's boy. I don't know if this counts, but I had a friend who had to learn to, after he moved out from his mother's house, he had to learn to cook. I know it's like pretty basic, but the guy would struggle, man. He didn't know how to cook. Now he stays on his own. His mother used to cook for him all the time, but had to adapt to cooking for himself. So yeah, it's Guy and Gatlong. Thanks.
Morning, Clemza. Welcome back. Echolini here from the Val. Hey, Clement. Some of us look forward to Amo's voice. We even don't really focus on what she says in terms of where traffic is. We just listen to the voice. So it's not a Friday thing. That's Amo for you every day.
That's Amo.
Looking forward to a great show.
Yeah, no. This woman has lots of energy from early on in the morning when you're still trying to pick yourself up. All right, it's 22 minutes now after 6 o'clock.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Some of the things you need to know about this morning. TikTok for Pick It Up. The rubbish is piling up in parts of Johannesburg. Residents in Randburg, Fourways, Douglasdale say that their bins haven't been collected for over a week now, despite assurances that refuse collection has resumed. This backlog follows that recent Pick It Up worker protest with casual workers demanding permanent employment. Basic Education Minister Sivuyo Kwahube has warned that childhood stunting is irreversible, calling for increased funding for school nutrition programs. She was addressing a South African Human Rights Commission inquiry, stressing that proper nutrition is essential for children's learning, development, and long-term health. Have you ever received a weird gift? Listen to this. The Turkish president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, sparked debate after gifting NATO leaders personalized engraved revolvers with live ammunition. This happened at NATO summit in Ankara. And while Turkey said the gifts showcased its growing defense industry, several leaders chose to leave the firearms behind, hand them to authorities, or donate them to museums because of legal, diplomatic, and security concerns. I mean, who gifts you a whole revolver with live ammunition?
Erdogan does.
Yeah. No, he does. And I want to know, have you ever received a weird gift? Amo? Romela?
Yeah, shoes. I've received shoes. And the weirdest thing about shoes is that you never really know the size of the person because the person didn't know me that well when they bought me the
that's
shoes.
such a personal thing.
It
like
is.
You have to know
it's a
someone
very
that well.
personal thing, and it was sandals, which were the least favorite of mine at that time because I used to wear high heels every day. And so they thought, oh, you know what, you need to cool it down a bit, so let me buy you sandals. They never fit me, and I had to give them away.
And you? Have you ever received a weird awkward gift that you had to pretend you love? You've never? Okay.
No, not a weird gift, not at all.
So I once got gifted socks. They were white socks. And on these socks were small, like faces, like round faces of someone who had gifted me the socks.
Their face was on the socks?
Yes. Yeah, it was for my birthday gift. Someone decided I'm going to buy Clement's socks and I'm going to plaster my face on Clement's socks. So those socks are plastered with like faces of this person who bought me the socks. And that was the weirdest gift I've ever received. I mean, it's my birthday. At the very least, can you plaster my face on the socks maybe? Yeah, that was quite weird. Also, on this day in 1985, after just 79 days, Coca-Cola reversed its controversial decision to replace its original recipe with new Coke, bringing back the classic formula as Coca-Cola Classic. And on this day In 2000, Coldplay released their debut album, Parachutes, featuring hits like Yellow, Trouble, Shiver, and Don't Panic. The album won a Grammy for Best Alternative Music Album and the Brit Award for British Album of the Year, and has sold more than 13 million copies worldwide.
702.
The newspapers.
Good morning, Sfiso Zulu.
Good morning, Clement. Have you tried taking Aussie to a restaurant ever since you've got him?
Yes, there is in fact a wonderful place in Bryanston that allows you to bring in the dogs. In fact, they've got a little play area for dogs as well. But that's the only place you can really take him.
Well, you're in for a treat. If you ever visit Hong Kong, dogs are finally getting their day out there. For the first time in decades, the city is allowing pet dogs inside restaurants. So more than 900 spots and restaurants have signed up so far. And it's part of a push by the city's leader to bolster a struggling dining industry by tapping into the pet-friendly market, because they're basically saying that some people don't want to leave their pets at home alone while they go dining at a restaurant. So now all these 900 outlets are now allowing dogs to come along with their owners. But it's not everyone that's happy, because people, I guess, who don't love dogs say that, well, they leave dogs filthy, they leave the floors filthy. And so they are basically petitioning for a reversal of this decision.
I wonder if they'll put the dogs on a leash.
No, they are supposed to be on a leash, and they're not supposed to be on the table. So that's one of the rules.
Then I guess that's doable, because then you're controlling the environment.
Yeah, but there are people who don't like dogs. You didn't like dogs 5 years ago.
And I didn't want the dog to even come. I didn't even want the dog to come sniff me. So I'm always very wary of other people out there who may not have the same attitude towards dogs. And I think that must be respected.
Exactly. No, absolutely. 100%. And the Sowetan, page 5, Kwahube needs more money to fund school nutrition. This is about the Basic Education Minister, Sivyo Kwahube, who is warning that child stunting is irreversible, and she's called for greater investment in school nutrition programs. So she needs more funding for proper nutrition for school, so that they can give children proper food during break and stuff like that.
On the business day, on one of the stories on the front page is about the former SA Air Force general who is jailed in the US for acting as a foreign agent. A former brigadier general in the South African Air Force has been sentenced to 6 months in prison in the US after pleading guilty to acting as an agent of the South African government and making false statements during a US security clearance application. We'll tell you more about this on our big interview just after 7 o'clock.
And those are the newspapers.
EWN Business.
28 after 6. Moteo, you've been asking us that when we buy, whether it's shoes, it's clothes, products, are we prioritizing quantity or quality? Why are you asking us that?
Well, I'm talking about a legacy brand this morning, Clement. Levi Strauss reporting strong second quarter 2026 earnings, beating analyst estimates with a revenue of $1.5 billion. The company's profit is up 8% year on year. With these results, Levi Strauss now anticipates reported net revenue growth of 7.5% for the year, an improvement from the previous range of 5.5 to 6.5%. Although it doesn't report on the number of jeans it sells each year, Levi's is the world's leading denim brand, commanding the largest global market share, known for its iconic copper riveted trousers that were patented in 1873. So it's talking about quality. It's a long-lasting brand, right? Now, despite being a legacy clothing brand, Levi still attracts consumers because of its trusted qualities. Those original copper riveted jeans were built as workwear. It's supposed to be uniform, in fact, from carpenters to miners and railroad engineers who all needed a quick, safe access to their pocket watches. You know that small pocket on your jeans that you never really knew why it was there? It was for pocket watches. That's why your phone doesn't fit there. The company generates approximately $6.5 billion in net revenue annually. They sell millions of garments globally with products available in over 110 countries. Levi's are distributed across approximately 50,000 retail locations. How long have you owned a pair of jeans? Because I can remember a Levi's pair of jeans that I had for more than 10 years.
Yeah, I can think of maybe over So you haven't changed? Like your weight has remained the same?
No, at that time. It's gone
okay.
now.
Yeah, because I'm like, whoa, bro.
It's gone.
What are you eating? Share that
It's
with
gone
us.
now.
I think I can think of maybe 4 or 5 years now as an adult. Because
Yeah.
the weight is changing, man, as you go older.
And you let them go.
Hey, and then you let them go. You have to give them away.
Well, looking at the markets, the JSE yesterday up more than 1,000 points, up more than 1%, pushed up by mining shares, which are up 3%. Also a good day for the Rand this morning, 16 Rand 29 against the US dollar, 18 Rand 64 against the euro, and 21 Rand 88 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,118 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,636. A Brent crude now at $76 a barrel. More business after 7.
6:30, time for the latest in Eyewitness News. Fiso, the National Consumer Commission, they've recalled thousands of BMW vehicles. What's happening?
Well, Clement, it's about nearly 11,000 of the BMW vehicles. The recall was sparked by a defect that could cause the starter motor to overheat, produce smoke, or prevent the engine from starting. Affected models are the BMW 3, 4, and 5, as well as the 7 series, along with the X3 and the X4 models that were sold in the country from 2016, the Commission's Petron Daba.
If you are one of the drivers or you know one, do ensure that you take your vehicle to any authorized BMW dealership to arrange for an inspection and a repairer. This will be carried out at no cost to you as a consumer. You are also urged not to use the remote engine start function via the My BMW app or the remote control key until the repair has been completed.
Telecommunications giant Telkom is putting money behind artificial intelligence in South Africa. It has pledged 100 million rand to establish a new AI institute aimed at equipping South Africans with practical skills. The announcement was made yesterday in Switzerland during the International Telecommunications Union's World Summit on the Information Society. Anelita Fandesa reports.
Telkom says the institute will focus on practical, job-ready AI training, with young people, small businesses and underserved communities expected to benefit the most. CEO Serame Taukobong says South Africa's challenge is no longer just getting people connected to the internet. He says the next digital divide will be between those who have access to AI skills and those who don't. The investment forms part of Telkom's Vision 2030 strategy, which aims to position the company as more than a telecommunications provider by helping develop the skills South Africa needs to compete in an increasingly AI-driven global economy. Anelita Fandese, Eyewitness News.
Police are still searching for a man who went missing while hiking at the Hildeberg Nature Reserve in Somerset West almost a week ago. Itumeleng Mikwa was alone last Saturday but remained in contact with a friend via WhatsApp. Police spokesperson Frederick van Wyk says the friend alerted authorities after Mikwa stopped communicating and could no longer be reached.
A missing persons report was registered at Somerset West Police for further investigation and search. The search and investigations continues.
And at least 12 people have died in a wildfire in southern Spain. Authorities say the blaze broke out yesterday at hamlets of Beda, where around 150 firefighters have been battling it as temperatures increase. One of the victims is a woman who suffered burns and another person with smoke inhalation. Eyewitnesses say the blaze may have started after a power line fell, igniting dry vegetation before spreading rapidly in the area. Authorities are yet to confirm the cause of the blaze. Spain has experienced increasingly frequent and prolonged heat waves in recent years, with temperatures often exceeding 40 degrees, creating conditions for major wildfires. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 3 and 4 degrees, peaking at highs between 20 and 22.
And in the traffic, we've got heavy delays in the city of Tshwane along the N1 South approaching Rigel Avenue. That's due to an accident. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling in Germiston, delays on the N3 North between the Earlands Interchange and Van Buren Road.
The top story this hour, the National Consumer Commission has announced the recall of nearly 11,000 BMW vehicles.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Sure, they aced it. The Championships Wimbledon experience with the Mzansi Advantage is back at Amex Tennistown Monte Casino between 11 and 12 July 2026. Enjoy VIP hospitality, the ultimate big screen experience, a kids fun zone, and so much more. Buy your tickets now on Howler and get 50% off on limited tickets when you use your Amex card. Tennis is better with Amex. American Express Cards is operated under license in South Africa by Nedbank, a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Welcome to Nando's Taste-Demonials. It's the flavor! Real reviews by real people. Dolly from Boertersig is vegetarian-ish, with a reputation to uphold. Here's what she whispered about the half chicken and a single side for $1.25.
What? I don't eat chicken, but for Nando's, I make the exception.
Well, good thing there's a salad on the side for appearances. Of course. Nando's. Oh, what a place.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? It's brought to you by Outsurance. Up to 3,000 Rand in cash up for grabs. All you need to do is send an answer based on anything that piqued your interest on the show, and you could win 1,000 Rand. Simply WhatsApp your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. And of course, a little later, someone will ask the question to win 2,000 Rand. Remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you have SMS'd out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Yo guys, good morning. I really just want to wish Clement's future wife strength, all the best in advance. Like, girl, I love you, I got you. Yo, no, Clemmy. Clement, come on.
Did I come across as a mama's boy? Which I am.
Oh, definitely.
I think I am. I've always
definitely,
been.
Yeah.
But there are people who are squeamish out there. Like, there are people who are just so sensitive.
You know, there's so many things that, I mean, your mother has to crush your pills before you drink pills,
Oh
Clement.
my God. Why are you putting me on blast
No,
like
but
that?
you've said it before. It's not coming from me.
Well, I
You've
crush
said
the
it
pills
before.
myself now, so I'm
That's
more
good.
responsible.
That's good.
Okay?
Now you've learned. Now you're doing that. But before you told us that, no, my mother crushes my pills because I can't swallow them. It's too hard. And there's many other things.
Who needs enemies, eh? When you have Amo Ramela.
Good morning, Clement and the team. It was changing the nappy. My mother did it for about 3 months, and then I had a helper, so she would do it. But then I suffered if the helper was not around, and I would have to do it myself. And another one is if my son threw up and I had to clean it, I would also throw up. And that would be if my helper's not around. But if my helper was around, my son threw up, she did it. But if I do it, I also throw up.
So, but then at some point though, you have to learn to do it. And I suppose that's what I've learned this morning is, you know, you can't always ask somebody else to come and clean after, whether it's your little child or whether it's your pet. If you have taken responsibility over that human being or over that pet, you have to learn to do it. And I think for me, I've always wanted to learn to clean after Aussie. And yes, it was difficult today because it's the first time, but I'm going to have to learn to do it going forward. And if it means you do it while you puke, well, that's what comes with being a dad, no?
This is Anonymous from Scottsboro. Years ago, I had to change my mother-in-law's stoma bag when it needed changing. That was awful. Thank you. Bye.
And you see, for me, there are obviously like instances where you've got an older person at home who's sick that you have to look after things like that. You've got to also learn to do that because you want to take after your loved one. You can't just say, oh, I'm squeamish and I'm too sensitive and I can't do that and that. You learn to do these things. That's the lesson. It's 20 minutes now before 7 o'clock.
EWN Sport.
Good morning, Cindy Paluta.
Good morning, Clement.
Did you stay up until the last minute?
I knew you were going to ask.
Because you said you would stay for the first.
So I was like, I told my kids I'm gonna watch the game tonight, but at least maybe even the first half. And then at 7:45, I said, good night, guys. See you in the morning. But I did roll over in the middle of the night at about 2 o'clock just to see the score. Yeah. And then was so sad that Morocco's out, but so relieved that I didn't stay up for the first half because the first half was goalless. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So France are through to the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup. They beat Morocco 2-0. With goals from Mbappe and Dembele, who scored 6 minutes apart in that second half. France now wait to see if they play Spain or Belgium. Those sides are playing tonight at 9 o'clock. Tomorrow, England against Norway at 11. The spotlight is on star striker Erling Haaland, who says it's important to enjoy the journey.
So I think that's a key for my daily life, to joke around and of course train good, of course focus well and prepare well, but you also need to joke around and you need to enjoy the moment, and that's what we've been doing now. And just as we play in the World Cup, we just have to enjoy it because nothing lasts forever, and we have to just enjoy while we're here.
The last quarterfinal will be Sunday morning, Argentina against Switzerland. At Wimbledon, Karolina Muchova saved a match point before coming through a deciding tiebreak to beat Coco Gauff 6-2, 1-6 and 7-6 to secure her first Wimbledon final. It was also the first time Muchova had ever played on centre court.
Yeah, the court is unreal. I had a chance to actually warm up today on it, which I think was very helpful to kind of get used to the grounds and the roof and kind of just all surroundings. It's a beautiful court and it was packed. It was such a great atmosphere. So it's a very nice experience to play on it. Even better to get my first win there.
Muchova will play Linda Noskova, who beat Kostiak in straight sets. The men's semi-final today, Frey against Zverev, and the late game Sinner playing Djokovic. The Springboks take on Scotland tomorrow at Loftus at 5:40. For Wilco Lowe, it's an emotional return, having lost his dad at the start of the year, battling bronchitis through the URC, and last week he watched from the stands. He says it's great to be back.
It's been a tough year, but massive honor to be here and to have another opportunity to play this weekend. And yes, I'm feeling a lot better. Was a bit sick in the last few games of the URC and had an interesting incident. Yeah, feeling a lot better, feeling healthy again.
The Nations Championship action starts tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with the All Blacks against Italy, followed by Australia, France, Japan, Ireland. At 3 o'clock, Fiji hosting England. The late game at 9 o'clock, Argentina playing Wales. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Good morning, Uncle Clement. My name is Takato. I'm 10 years old. I go to Dinwiddie Primary. And when I grow old, I want to be a lawyer. And I'm so excited to play the Whiz Quiz with you guys.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amoramela on the N1 South. There's a crash there.
That's correct, Clement. It's in the city of Tshwane, Erasmus Kloof. It happened near Rigel Avenue. It's causing heavy delays coming out of Atterbury Road. Please be on the lookout there and approach with care. Expect about a 20-minute hold-up as well. Traveling on the N1 South towards Midrand, delays between Samrand Avenue and Olifantsfontein Road. Peak time delays here. There's also peak time pressure piling up along the M1 North between Boyson's Road and Carr Street. We'll have more updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clever excuses for being late, number 95. I had load shedding and couldn't charge my phone, so I didn't have an alarm. Fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsman on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer in the FSP.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
Your next transaction could win you a brand new Mazda 2. As proud partners of 702's Walk the Talk, ABSA and Mazda are putting Josie in the driver's seat. Download, register and transact on the ABSA banking app between 26 June and 20 July 2026 to qualify. The winners will be announced on race day. ABSA is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. Competition terms and conditions and minimum spend apply.
At Specsavers, we're committed to offering affordable and professional eye care. That's why we're offering 1,500 Rand worth of savings with our winter promotion. Get a free frame up to the value of 1,500 Rand or use the 1,500 Rand on one of our leading vision enhancements, like Climate Eyes, which automatically adapts to changing light. To qualify, simply purchase a comprehensive eye examination and prescription frame and lenses. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
Score big with the Checkers XXL Savings Championship with over 150 million Rand in weekly extra savings. Get the bakery mini croissants 10 per pack, 2 for 99 Rand. Olive Joy vegetable oil blend with extra virgin olive oil, 1 litre, 2 for 129 Rand. And the new 2-ply toilet rolls 9 per pack for 59.99. Valid until 12 July, only at Checkers.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
14 minutes before 7 o'clock, time for the Whiz Quiz. Your chance to win 10,000 Rand if you're between the ages of 10 and 13. This morning we're playing with Takhatso, who is 10 years old, goes to Dinwiddie Primary School and wants to be a lawyer when he grows up. Takhatso, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Uncle Talent. I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright. Who do you want to say a shout out to this morning?
I want to say a shout out to Kanyisa, Ella, Mpoyane, and my mom and dad.
Okay. Kanyisa, Ella, Mpoyane, mom and dad. Hello to you from Takhatso. I'm sure they're holding you in their thoughts, Takhatso. Are you ready to play?
Yes, I am.
All the best. Palesa, let's go. In math, what is 40 minus 20?
20.
Correct. What is an elephant's long nose called?
A trump.
Correct. True or false? Camels store water in their humps.
False.
Correct. How many players does each team have in a netball match? 7 or 9?
7.
Correct. What do we call animals with 8 legs that spin webs?
Spiders.
Correct. In movies, what color are the minions in the movie Despicable Me?
Yellow.
Correct. Spell the word pencil.
P-E-C-P-E-I-C-L-E.
Incorrect. What is the name of the 6th month in a year?
Seasons.
The name of the 6th month in a year?
Month.
Yes, the month. That's what I was looking for. June would have been the correct answer. That is the name of the 6th month in a year. Pencil is Pencil. Takhatso, you started so well there, but you were a bit slow. But you walk away with 600 Rand. Congratulations to you, Takhatso, who is 10 years old. So if your child is between the ages of 10 and 13 and is ready to take on a fun quiz challenge, they can enter the Whiz Quiz competition via the Prime Media Plus website.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Mr. Clement, look, when I was growing up, I used to see my mother cleaning up either me or maybe my cousin's nose using her thumb, and then at some point she has to put a little saliva on the thumb and then clean it up. How jiggy, here I am as a father doing the same thing that I never thought I would ever do. So yeah, cleaning your kid's nose using your thumb, and at some point he has to use a little saliva. Last one here.
Clement, Tina, when we were raised up, we were told, as long as anything won't kill you, you have to just take care of it. As long as you won't die. So I clean up anything. without any problems. Because the time I was throwing up, I was told, as long as it won't kill you, just take care of it. You're a man. Kiss and cuss.
Yeah, hey. Sometimes you just have to learn to take it. Indeed. More of your WhatsApps on 0727021702.
Clems and the team, good morning. Good morning. No, for me, I don't like wearing something everybody will say, oh, yo, that's Gucci. That's what. I just don't like it. So for me, I just buy something that looks nice on me, and of course, has that shades of good quality. That's me. I'm fine with it. I'm not obsessed about labels. No, I'm not. Titus Tofontaine.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. With us gents, especially me, sometimes we prefer quality over quantity, especially on shoes, belt, and jeans. Other things like t-shirts, sometimes we compromise, but when it comes to shoes, belt, it should be quality.
Yeah, that's the question that Mateo was asking us earlier. Are you a type of person that prioritizes quality or do you prioritize quantity in the products that you purchase? We also want to get your thoughts this morning on the most awkward gift you've ever received. Remember, I was telling you earlier about the Turkish President Erdogan, who sparked debate after gifting NATO leaders personalized engraved revolvers with live ammunition. This happened in Turkey at NATO summit, which was taking place this week. And Turkey said the gifts showcased its growing defense industry, but there are several leaders who chose to actually leave the firearms behind and hand them over to the authorities or even donate them to museums because of legal, diplomatic, and security concerns. So I'd like to know from you this morning, what's that one gift you ever received that was so awkward? And did you pretend to love it, or could you be disappointed if someone gave you a gift that not really is something that you've never really thought about and you don't see the use of, or something that was just so out of the ordinary? 072 702 1702.
702. The Political Desk.
So it's been a busy week this week in South African politics, with major developments in the courts, at the Madlanga Commission, and across key state institutions. The former Ekurhuleni city manager, Imogen Mashazi, and other senior municipal officials appeared in court on corruption-related charges, while the Madlanga Commission has had explosive testimony about the alleged relationship between suspended crime intelligence boss Firoz Khan and EFF leader Julius Malema. Meanwhile, the former public protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane is facing a legal bid that could see her struck off the role of advocates, raising fresh questions about accountability and the long-term consequences of her impeachment. To help us unpack the week's biggest political stories, we're joined by EWN political reporter Alpha Ramushwana. Alpha, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Let's start with Mashazi and these other arrests linking these former officials of Ekurhuleni.
Good morning, Clement. I think this one has been a long time coming, simply because I think as journalists, we have been writing about them for years, way before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry was established. I mean, I remember writing about an iPad report in 2024 already, Clement, which found that Julius Mkhwanazi needed to be held accountable for unlawfully or allegedly giving Matala blue lights unlawfully. And it also found that he needed to be taken to disciplinary hearing. We then reported in the same year that the disciplinary hearing never happened, and Mkhwanazi was instead appointed to serve as the EMPD's second in command. And the two people who were meant to, or the three people rather, who were meant to make sure that he's held accountable were Imogen Mashazi, the embattled city manager, retired city manager, in fact, head of HR, Linda Klashega, and head of legal services, Kemi Bahari. Fast forward 2026, the very same allegations are tabled and heard at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, Each of them are called to account, Clement, and they give their versions of events. Both of them, Kemi Bahari and Linda Klashega, claiming that Imogen Masha, as the city manager, really doesn't give you a choice. If she makes a decision, she expects everyone to toe the line, and that's why they could not necessarily get the job done in terms of Julius Mkwanazi's disciplinary action. So they appeared in court yesterday. Kemi Bahari and Julius Mkwanazi each released on 50,000 rand bail, but the NPA is still trying to verify the addresses of the head of HR, Linda Klashega, and the retired city manager. So I think this one has been a long time coming, also given the nature of the questioning that we saw at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, with some of them not even being able to answer the questions that they were being asked, Clement.
Yeah, and I do remember Mashazi, in fact, conceding at the commission that given the evidence that they put before her, she eventually conceded that action should have been taken against Julius Mkwanazi. So let's wait and see how strong a case the NPA has. Let's look at and stay with the Madlanga Commission now and look at what's come out around the relationship between the top intelligence head Firoz Khan and Julius Malema.
Yeah, so this week the Madlanga Commission focused on Firoz Khan's supposed relationship with Julius Malema. I think the biggest question that came out was, what is the nature of Julius Malema's relationship with Firoz Khan? Now, WhatsApp chats between Firoz Khan and businessman Mo Syed were screened at the commission, and in those chats, there were several communications where both of them spoke about Julius Malema, and what we managed to find was Mo Syed was the middleman or an intermediary between Julius Malema and Firoz Khan. So I think one thing maybe that might cover Julius Malema was that there are no chats directly linked to Julius Malema and Firoz Khan. They never communicated together, but each and every single communication between them happened through this middleman, Mo Syed. But then it begs the question, why was Julius Malema absent when Firoz Khan had to appear at the ad hoc committee in Parliament? I think that question had been asked by a number of political parties in Parliament who assume and allege that perhaps it's because of the supposed relationship between the two. But what we found really at the Madlanga Commission this week was that Mo Syed would facilitate a lot of favors for Firoz Khan through Julius Malema, sending Khan's parliamentary questions to Julius Malema so that he may pose them to the Inspector General of Intelligence, Isaac Dindwe, who had been appearing in Parliament at the time, as well as questions for the then Police Minister, Begitele. And the evidence leaders described it as a quid pro quo relationship between Julius Malema and Firoz Khan, even saying that some of the favors may be unlawful, given that Firoz Khan does know the channels as a senior police officer that he can take to get questions asked in Parliament or to get someone from law enforcement held accountable. He knows the channels, he knows the procedures, and perhaps there was no need to go through the EFF leader. But I think the EFF leader as well made an argument in his response to the commission. He submitted a brief response statement saying that he doesn't think that any of that is wrong. And as a member of parliament, he has sources everywhere. Some of them are in public, some of them are covert. Yeah. But in order to do his work as a member of parliament, he does need sources to give him information about what is happening in some of these law enforcement agencies.
Yeah, and in fact, Firoz Khan never even got to appear before that ad hoc committee because Julius Malema was one of those who said, but there's no need for it. And the committee ultimately decided that they're not going to summon him. But questions, you're right, that have been raised is, why was Julius Malema against Firoz Khan appearing before the committee, even though, of course, ultimately he was supported by the other parties? Now that we understand the kind of relationship they had, it makes you wonder why he particularly took that position. Let's look at Busisiwe Mkhwebane quickly now, because she's facing a bid to be struck off the role of advocates. Just bring us up to speed with that. Why is the Legal Practice Council now seeking to have Mkhwebane struck from the role of advocate?
So the Legal Practice Council applied to the High Court to have Mkhwebane struck off the role, and it based a number of grounds supporting this application, and some of the grounds include dishonesty and says that Busisiwe Mkhwebane carried herself in a manner that lacked integrity for a person who was a public protector. Of course, this has to do with the findings made during the Parliament's Section 194 impeachment inquiry, Clement, as well as other court judgments that were highly critical of Mkhwebane's conduct at the time. And really, the application states that she displayed a bias and failed to act independently. She exceeded her constitutional and statutory powers, and in some instances, she misled the courts when she was filing her own affidavit. So I think the big question as well that I've heard from a number of analysts over the past few days was that, wow, only now. One would have expected such an application to have happened a few months ago at least. But now I think it might be another slap in the face for the former public protector, and as they seek her to remove from the role of advocates, Clement.
Alpha Ramashwana, thank you for joining us.
702. Coming up, the big interview.
4 senior Ekurhuleni officials arrested on corruption charges. 2 were granted bail yesterday. Is this finally a sign of a turning point for the city of Ekurhuleni? The DA mayoral candidate, Katuchelo Rasilingwane, speaks to us next.
This is EWN.
Tshwane's city manager has been suspended, but the DA is not happy, and Imogen Mashazi returns to court for bail. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The DA claims the vote to suspend Tshwane City Manager Johan Metler was rigged. Last night, the Tshwane Council voted to place Metler on precautionary suspension following allegations of misconduct against him by the EFF. The vote took place during a closed-door session. Tabiso Goba reports.
Despite having only 2 items on the agenda, last night's chaotic Tshwane Council meeting lasted for more than 8 hours. The DA in Tshwane says 12 of its councillors and 1 from the Freedom Front Plus initially applied to be granted leave from the meeting. However, they later withdrew their applications and attended the council meeting. Several councillors from other political parties have confirmed this to EWN. DA Tshwane caucus leader Celia Brink says the votes of the 13 councillors were disregarded from the final vote count by the speaker.
It's a clear cooking of the votes, a meeting riddled with irregularities.
EWN understands suspended city manager Johan Metler is considering his legal options. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
In the East Rand, former City of Ekurhuleni manager Imogen Mashazi and the Metro's head of HR Linda Xashega are expected to apply for bail today. They appeared in the Germiston Magistrates Court yesterday with EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi and Head of Legal Services Kemi Bihari. Mkhwanazi and Bihari were granted 50,000 Rand bail. The NPA says Bihari, Xashega and Mashazi ignored recommendations for Mkhwanazi to be disciplined. Madlanga Commission reports.
According to the estate, the accused defied recommendations from both IPID and the head of the EMPD to institute disciplinary proceedings against Julius Mkhwanazi in 2023. Prosecutors say former city manager Imogen Mashazi allegedly ordered officials to halt the process. The state further alleges Mashazi, Kemi Bihari and Linda Xashega acted in common purpose to shield Mkhwanazi from a disciplinary hearing. In return, Bihari and Xashega allegedly received salary increases that were never approved by council. Prosecutors also claim Mkhwanazi inflated his own salary package after being recommended for the senior EMPD post he now holds by altering the band to a higher level than the one advertised, with Xashega allegedly motivating for the increase. Madlanga Commission, Eyewitness News.
At the same time, an expert witness testifying at the Madlanga Commission has recommended a substantive overhaul of the current systems to fight corruption in the police. The commission yesterday heard testimony from Alberta Schoeman, a World Bank anti-corruption expert. Schoeman detailed his findings on the loopholes in South Africa's asset disclosure mechanisms in the public service. Khomotso Modise has more.
One of the measures Alberta Schoeman testified about to boost corruption prevention in the police is roping in the Special Investigating Unit to conduct lifestyle audits. But he says this and other measures which have already been tried will not address the issues.
The system in its current form has reached the limit of incremental improvements. and has reached a point where you need the more substantive overhaul of how these functions are dispersed, of what the mandate looks like, what kind of powers are needed.
He says a substantive overhaul that involves a dedicated corruption prevention agency is the only conclusion. The Madlanga Commission continues this morning with a new witness expected on the stand. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
And scientists have detected the highly contagious H5 bird flu in an Australian seabird for the first time. Australia was for years the only continental landmass to be free of the H5 strain, which has caused severe disease and high death rates in poultry and wild birds worldwide. A total of 12 cases of H5 bird flu have been confirmed in Australia since last month, but all of them were in migratory seabirds, not local wildlife. Lab testing confirmed the disease had infected a greater crested tern in the town of Robe, and this is in the south of Australia. Gold is trading at $4,123.82 an ounce. The rand is at 16.32 to the dollar, 21.89 to the pound, 18.66 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $76.44 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North. This is between the Elands Interchange and Van Buren Road. At this moment, we're seeing an accident right near Van Buren turn off. As a result, the M2 East is also backed up approaching the Geldenhuys Interchange.
And in your sport, Mbappe and Dembele sent France the World Cup semi-finals with a 2-0 win over Morocco. At Wimbledon, Mukova beat Goff and will face Noskova in the women's final tomorrow. And after a tough start to the year, Volko Low is grateful to be back with the Boks for tomorrow's game with Scotland.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at a low of 3 degrees, peaking at 20. Pretoria, 4 and 22. Vereeniging, 3 and 21 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. The DA claims the vote to suspend Tshwane City Manager Johan Metler last night was rigged.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an energy that connects us all.
That's what makes this one so special.
In 702, Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the City of Johannesburg. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
702.
Live
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7.
And 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 7 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the second hour of 702 Breakfast. Clement Manyatela here, standing in for Bongani this morning. Interesting developments coming out of Tshwane. The Metro's municipal manager, Johan Metler, has been suspended, but the CFO, Gareth Nissi's alleged misconduct has been classified as less serious, quote unquote. So Metler will be suspended on full pay, and there will be an independent investigator who will be hired to probe the misconduct allegations against him. The DA has come out to say that the coalition in Tshwane is going after Metler because he's standing in the way of tender rigging. But I think what's been interesting to me is that the Chief Financial Officer, Gareth Nissi, will be returning to work after misconduct allegations against him were classified as less serious. Remember, he was suspended earlier this year following revelations at the Madlanga Commission that he leaked confidential tender documents to his friends and may have participated in rigging scheme, the tender rigging scheme. So there was a forensic report commissioned by the municipality which found no evidence of impropriety against Nissi. So most councillors voted to classify them as less serious, which means that the highest form of sanction the municipality can mete out against Nissi is just a warning. Do you remember when he appeared before the Madlanga Commission?
At this point in time, Chair, I did not perceive there is an interest, purely based on the fact that, firstly, my bias or my objectivity was not impaired. I did not know Peggy. He's not an associate of mine. I agree, the brother is an associate of mine, but Peggy is not an associate of mine whatsoever. I only have engagement with Sergeant Nkosi. So I knew from that perspective that firstly, my bias was not going to be, my objectivity, was not going to be impaired whatsoever. Second to that, the PAC is a panel-based decision-making body. It's not one individual. There are a number of subject matter experts who sit throughout that process, meaning objectivity is further enhanced. Chairperson, I also want to confirm on the TMPD1 matter, which we are raising. There are score sheets that were provided to me as part of the bundle. Within this bundle, I think it's the fourth bundle, independent members scored all bidders accordingly, which gives an indication that these bidders were compliant by the 11th of April. That's when the score sheets were signed, and that's an essential date for us to consider.
So that's what he tried to explain at the Madlanga Commission, but what he ended up doing was concede that there was a perception of conflict of interest in him serving on the bid adjudication committee while maintaining a close relationship with Sergeant Fanning Nkosi, who was linked to companies that were vying for tenders. And as you can hear there, he was at pains during his testimony to explain that despite referring to Sergeant Nkosi as his brother, and he said, I did not commit any fraud to benefit Nkosi's real brother, Beki. Remember when his friend Nkosi asked the CFO, help my brother out, Beki, with a tender. That's a brother who was bidding for tenders in Tshwane. So does this decision by the city council to say, well, that's a less serious charge on the part of the CFO, does it indicate a no-tolerance attitude for this kind of behavior in Tshwane? I don't think so. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. It's 10 minutes after 7.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Right, let's look at some of the things you need to know about this morning. So there's quite a lot, right? We were telling you earlier on about what happened with the Ekurhuleni officials that were arrested. 2 of them were released on bail and 2 we're expecting an answer today. But Pick It Up is also facing some pressure. The rubbish is piling up in parts of Johannesburg. There are residents in Randburg Fourways and Douglasdale who say that their bins haven't been collected for over a week now, despite those assurances that refuse collection has resumed. The Basic Education Minister, Siviwe Kahube, has warned that childhood stunting is irreversible, calling for increased funding for school nutrition programs. Have you ever received a weird gift? I told you earlier about the Turkish president, Recep Erdogan, who sparked debate after gifting NATO leaders personalized engraved revolvers with live ammunition in Turkey during the NATO summit. And on this day in 1985, just after 79 days, Coca-Cola reversed its controversial decision to replace its original recipe with new Coke, bringing back the classic formula as Coca-Cola Classic.
EWN Traffic.
12 minutes after 7 o'clock. Amo, how are we looking on the roads?
Well, Clement, we've got heavy delays on the N3 North. This is between the Elands Interchange and Van Buren Road. That's due to an accident. As a result, we're seeing delays as well on the M2 East approaching the Geldenes Interchange. While traveling on the Mike 1 North, some issues between the Kilani Bends and College Drive. If you're heading towards Rivonia, expect delays on the N1 North between Malibongwe Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. In Paulshof, an accident along Witkoppen Road. It happened right near Rivonia Road. It's causing delays there. And then in the city of Tshwane, queuing traffic along the N1 South. That's between the Proof Plus Interchange and Rangel Avenue. A major accident there. About a 20-minute hold-up as a result. Please try to use the N14 South, particularly heading towards areas like Centurion. And then, of course, if you're traveling in Mountain View, we've got peak time delays on the R80 East Mabopane Highway between the R55 and Eskia Mpahlele Drive. We'll have more traffic updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702. Up next.
The big interview. John, where are you rushing to?
Sure, I'm off to SARS. I need to check if I must file.
Wait! SARS sends auto-assessment notices from 1 to 12 July.
Done. Just like that?
Yes. If you get a notice of assessment, check it. If it's correct, you're done. If it's incorrect or you did not receive one, file from 13 July on e-filing or the SARS Mobi app.
I could already be done.
This filing season, experience the power of done. Expect your auto-assessment notice from 1 to 12 July or file from 13 July via e-filing or the SARS Mobi app. Go to sars.gov.za. SARS, at your service.
Standing still isn't a strategy. Join Vets Business School's virtual open day on Thursday, the 16th of July at 5:30 p.m. and discover postgraduate diplomas, master's degrees, and executive education programs that will equip you to lead with confidence in a changing world. Register today at wbs.ac.za. Vets Business School, sculpting global leaders.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bets supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
What is your business here?
You didn't start your business to play it safe. You took the leap, made the bold move, and now it's time to make the next one. This week, 702 and Budget Business Insurance are giving small businesses the chance to win their share of 100,000 Rand with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza. Enter on primemediaplus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one will be. Then get an obligation-free Budget Business Insurance quote. 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you. Budget Insurance is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
702.
The Big Interview.
15 minutes after 7 o'clock. So 4 senior Ekurhuleni officials, including the former city manager Imogen Mashazi, appeared in the Germiston Magistrates Court yesterday following dramatic overnight arrests on charges of fraud, corruption, and defeating the ends of justice. Mashazi, the suspended head of legal Kemi Behari, and suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkonazi, and the suspended head of Human Resources Linda Klasheka are linked to allegations of irregular salary increases, stalled disciplinary processes, and interference in accountability mechanisms, many of which surfaced during the Madlanga Commission. So, as you know now, Behari and Mkonazi were granted 50,000 Rand bail each, while bail hearings for Mashazi and Klasheka were postponed over address verification issues. Now, the DA has welcomed the arrests as a breakthrough, but they insist that they represent only the tip of a much larger network. Joining us in studio now is the DA Ekurhuleni mayoral candidate, Kathuchelo Rasilingwane. Kathu, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning to yourself, Clement, and good morning to your listeners, and thank you for having me.
So yesterday's arrests of Imogen Mashazi and these 3 other senior officials have really called into question some of the corruption that we've seen happen in Ekurhuleni, but there hasn't really been any results to it. Do you think this is the tip of the iceberg, and how do we ensure that if there's still this kind of rot in the metro, it's taken out?
So firstly, as the Democratic Alliance, we truly, really welcomed what happened yesterday, because for the longest of time, Imogen Mashazi was deemed to be the most untouchable and the dangerous person within the city. There've been interviews of, senior leaders that have said that he was a difficult one, she was a difficult one rather, to crack. And so when we see, the state of justice or the law rather finally catching up with those that for the longest of time have been deemed to be above the law, for us, it tells us that we are on the right track and we will be able to get into the bottom of the rot that is still within the municipality.
How do we get to the bottom? Do we need an investigation? Because part of the challenge here is that some of these top officials were trying to put the blame on Mashazi and how she was putting pressure on them, which I get because those are the dynamics of work. But if you're in a leadership position, if you're the head of legal, it doesn't matter what the city manager says. You have to think about what's in the best interest of the metro, and that's what some of these top officials failed to do. And it's no excuse to say, oh, but my big boss was putting pressure on me.
Absolutely. And I think the one thing that lacks in the city of Ekurhuleni and that has been lacking for the longest of time is the culture of accountability. And I think that is why we found ourselves in this kind of situation where According to me, I see it as a crime scene because, we dominate the headline. We are on the Madlanga Commission every, single day regarding these kind of issues of corruption. And so I sat at court yesterday and I couldn't help and just watch Linda, that is an HR, person, with a senior position in a municipality such as Ekurhuleni. I looked at Behari and I'm like, how did they allow themselves to be compromised so much? Because if you follow the case, you would know that the only reason they did this thing was simply to protect Julius Mkwanazi, and they acted on behalf of the instruction that they had received from this city manager. And it talks to obviously the culture of her being deemed to be dangerous, untouchable, and non-accountable. And so for me, I must agree with you to say, how do you go to university and study to become a human resource person, and you get an opportunity to sit at such a high level and you don't have integrity or ethics, or at least continue to serve the best interest of the municipalities that you have been interested to lead? And so I think for the longest of time, the problem have been at the helm of the municipalities. I still maintain it is, your senior officials that are found to be, wanting or doing the wrong things, in a lot of times. And as a result, that is why I think we needed to start there to ensure that we can get to the bottom of this. I can't really tell you why they were not able to stand their ground to say this is incorrect, but there's also disciplinary process which everyone is supposed to be, subjected to and stand the cause. That is something that they fail, and that is why they find themselves in their situation today, unfortunately, with Linda not finding bail. That could have been avoided in my view.
Yeah. So what has the Metro done since these revelations from the Madlanga Commission? Because your belief is that the rod goes well beyond these 4 individuals. Is there an investigation? Is there an overhaul of systems? And what do you think is necessary to do?
The city of Ekurhuleni have not done anything from where I stand. In fact, even yesterday at court, when I was doing interview, I would have imagined that, the city of Ekurhuleni leadership will be there because they would, want to see at least those that have been accused of criminal activities or corruption for the longest of time to at least be held accountable. But from the city's point of view, there hasn't been any willingness to be able to deal with this kind of issues. I would have expected that the mayor would at least delegate or be there himself, because if you are a crime scene, if you are a corrupt, known municipality, you would be happy to see that we are finally getting into the bottom of this. And so they haven't been doing anything. It is similar with the case of Kagiso Lurutla, as you would know, that he was arrested on the 19th of April. And according to the local government regulation, it guides or empowers council as well as the mayor to say within 7 days they have to act upon that. They have to put him through a precautionary suspension. And the city of Ekurhuleni to date have failed to do that. Mayor Kagaza have had the opportunity to do that. We have written to the speaker to request that is dealt with urgently. But Kagiso only simply took leave, and he came back and it's business as usual. And that talks to the culture of the lack of accountability that we have in the city of Ekurhuleni. And that is why you find that the rot is still thriving within the municipality.
You've already said that every rand lost to corruption is a rand stolen from service delivery. So in which areas have Ekurhuleni residents suffered most visibly because of this kind of maladministration now being alleged?
The state of Ekurhuleni currently, particularly service delivery, is collapsing. Tembisa, there's a lot of housing projects that have been left abandoned. We're talking 43 housing projects. There could be a lot of people that are benefiting from that. The Edenvale area, if you drive there, it is a pothole hub. The power outages that the people of Germiston continuously experience due to the lack of infrastructure investment. I live in the Captain Park area, and I always go without electricity. So those are the basic services delivery that we have been obviously not getting, simply because the monies that is due to be providing services to people is actually redirected to other things that have nothing to do with the resident of Ekurhuleni. So across the entire city, you would know that areas such as Duduza, Kwatema, there's always, one strike and another, simply because people are crying for service delivery, and that hasn't been happening simply because of the corruption and the criminal activities that are taking place within the municipality.
And of course, the problem we're talking about here is so systematic and built up over many years and under poor governance. What do you think are some of the critical failures in oversight, in appointments, or maybe even the political culture that allowed this kind of systematic challenges to flourish?
I think for the longest of time, you'd remember that the ANC have been in government for the past 32 years, and they are a party that believes in a culture of cadre deployment. And as a result, you have an institution that is inflicted with a lot of, comrades, and therefore they are unable to hold each other accountable. It is impossible, Clement, if you are my cousin and I give you a responsibility within the city, and you are accused of, corruption or any sorts of these things, for me to be able to hold you accountable. Also, maybe to go back to this very case that we witnessed yesterday, you would remember there was a video where Julius Mkwanazi was telling people in a party to say he will kill for Mashazi, and that simply stems from the culture that they've built to say we are, we are going to be honest and protect each other and shield each other as long as we are fine, as compared to the resident of Ekurhuleni, which is the 4.2 million population that are supposed to be getting the benefit of the municipality. So I think it is the culture of the lack of accountability. It is the culture of cadre deployment that have ensured that, the system in Ekurhuleni collapse. And so until we can get to professionalize the administration, clean house, get people that, have the set of skills based on merit, I think that is the only way we will be able to clean house.
How do you plan to fix things up? Because you are the mayoral candidate, so
Indeed.
should you be elected into that position, what's your plan? What's your strategy?
I truly have no tolerance for corruption, because as a young woman that grew up in an informal settlement, I know how desperate people are waiting for their housing opportunity. And so knowing that there's almost 43 housing, projects that are going to benefit a lot of people that are abandoned, I think for me, it tells me that we need to attend to this matter with agency. And so we are going to ensure that we crush, corruption with everything that it is, and, enforce a culture of accountability. But we must also ensure that we grow the economy so that we can be able to create jobs. You would know that as a municipality, we will not be able to provide jobs for the 43% people that are unemployed in Ekurhuleni. But for us to be able to do that, we need to ensure that we provide the basics of service so we can have a city that is attractive to businesses, so that we can have investors coming to our city to be able to invest so that we can then create job opportunities for the resident of Ekurhuleni. But we must also ensure that the EMPD department, as you would know, it's led by a chief of police that is currently on suspension. You would know that Julius Mkwanazi is actually the highest man as well. He's currently the deputy chief of police for that department. And this is a department that is responsible to ensure that we are protected as the resident of Ekurhuleni. So we are going to ensure that we professionalize that department and clean house. So we're going to ensure that we also create, skills audit within the municipality in its entirety. We need to also ensure that there is lifestyle audit for the senior managers, because I can tell you almost 90% of those senior leaders are living beyond their means.
Yeah.
So they need to be able to explain how they accumulated their wealth, how they have their asset. I mean, I'm shocked of the things that Imogen Mashazi has comparing to the salary that she was earning. And so we need to be able to ensure that we create a skills audit, a lifestyle audit, to ensure that people are living within their means, but to also ensure that we have people in the system that are, equipped with the skills to be able to best serve the resident of Ekurhuleni.
Yeah, I mean, 60 million rand, that's the house.
It's not the only one.
And it's not the only one. That's where Mashazi lived, according to investigations by News 24. I mean, 60 million rand, a mansion like that. And when you compare that to the salary that she was getting paid, it's way less. Thank you so much, Katu, for joining us. Katuchelo Rasilingwane is the DA Ekurhuleni mayoral candidate.
EWN Business.
27 minutes after 7 o'clock now. We've got some business news with Muteo Khwaripe. Sapi shares jump, Muteo.
Yeah, it's been a long while for them. In fact, it's been a really bad year. So a big turnaround for them on Thursday. Shares in Sapi jumped almost 15%, the most since October 2020, after the group announced a strong sales forecast for its newly minted US mill. Last year, the paper manufacturer concluded a $500 million expansion project at Somerset Mill in Portland in the United States. SAPI says it expects its expansion of facilities to boost group revenue by as much as $300 million this year. The paper and packaging company has struggled with weak demand, lower prices and geopolitical tensions. Despite the stronger performance over this quarter, SAPI expects losses of more than $400 million this year.
And I see Transnet has applied to Treasury to blacklist 7 companies implicated in unlawful conduct.
Yeah, Transnet Port Terminals is taking action against fraud and corruption. The companies have been implicated in forensic investigations supported by the Special Investigating Unit, which uncovered offences including bribery, kickbacks, theft, financial misconduct, collusion, and the submission of false information. According to the Daily Maverick, the companies include Dakalo Holdings, Dispo Products, ILT Group, Ngabele Projects and Investments, and Pilasande Tire Corporation. Fraud and corruption were given as the restriction reason in all 5 cases. The companies will now be barred from doing business with Transnet and other public entities for the next 10 years. Then looking at the markets, a big rebound for the JSE yesterday, up more than 1%, and was largely pushed up by mining shares, which were up 3.3%. Banking stocks up more than 0.5% yesterday. A good day for Telkom. They were up more than 6%. Karoo, the owners of Cartrack, up 6%. MTN Group up more than 5%, with Goldfields up 3.8%. Losses for WeBuyCars, they were down 4.7%. Naspers, the JSE darling, down 3% at 865 Rand a share. Pick n Pay, that retailer, down 2.5%, with AB InBev, the beer makers, down 1.7%. The Rand this morning quite strong against the dollar, 16 Rand 29 against the US unit, 18 Rand 64 against the euro, and 21 Rand 86 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,113 an ounce, or platinum is stronger by 0.5% at $1,634. Brent crude now at $76 a barrel. More business after 8.
7:30, Sfiso Zulu has the latest in Eyewitness News. Sfiso, the former State Security Minister, Bongani Bingwa, his corruption case will now have to go ahead.
That's right, Clement. He's exhausted all legal avenues to challenge the Supreme Court of Appeal's decision to revive his corruption case. The Constitutional Court dismissed his application for leave to appeal this week. The ruling means the Supreme Court's order that Bongo's corruption trial must start afresh before a different judge stands. Bongo is accused of attempting to bribe Parliament's former legal advisor in 2017 while serving as an ANC MP, allegedly to derail a state capture inquiry into Eskom. Echolini reports.
Bongani Bingwa was acquitted in 2021 after the trial court granted his application for a discharge at the close of the state's case. But in 2024, the Supreme Court of Appeal set aside his acquittal, finding that the trial court had wrongly discharged him. The court ordered that the trial start over before a different judge. In a final bid to avoid a new trial, Bongo approached the Constitutional Court in April this year to challenge the SCA ruling. The Apex Court refused to condone the late filing of his application and denied him leave to appeal, saying the matter had no reasonable prospects of success. The decision paves the way for Bongo's corruption trial to begin again in the Western Cape High Court. Echolini, Eyewitness News.
The lawyer for 3 suspects accused of killing 13 people at the Jumpers informal settlement has denied his clients are involved in illegal mining, insisting they make a living through recycling. This after claims that most of those living in this settlement are involved in criminal acts. The 3 men are expected to face a bail bid opposed by the state in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court next week. They appeared in court yesterday, facing charges of 13 counts of murder and 14 of attempted murder following last month's mass shooting. The Makatsa Lishuru reports.
Defense lawyer advocate Pumutso Sadiki maintains police have arrested the wrong men. He claims his clients were linked to the shooting only because they are Basotho nationals and because of infighting among the group in the settlement.
There is a fight between the Basothos who are doing illegal mining, and my clients are not doing illegal mining, they are doing recycling. But now they've indicated that they have been linked because of being Basothos.
Meanwhile, a group of angry residents from the settlement protested outside court yesterday, demanding the trio be denied bail. They say they no longer trust their neighbors, and every time there's a loud bang, they relive the nightmare of June 9th when gunmen shot indiscriminately through their shacks. Dimakatso Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
The National Consumer Commission has announced the recall of nearly 11,000 BMW vehicles. The decision was sparked by a defect that could cause the starter motor to overheat, produce smoke, or prevent the engine from starting. Affected models are the BMW 3, 4, 5 and 7 series, along with X3 and X4 models sold in the country from 2016. The Commission's Petron Daba.
If you are one of the drivers or you know one, do ensure that you take your vehicle to any authorized BMW dealership to arrange for an inspection and a repairer. This will be carried out at no cost to you as a consumer. You are also urged not to use the remote engine start function via the My BMW app or the remote control key until the repair has been completed.
And the government in Mexico plans to lay criminal charges over the death of Mexican immigrants in the wake of U.S. President Donald Trump's mass deportation campaign. At least 17 Mexican citizens have died while held by immigration and customs enforcement or during raids in the U.S. since Trump returned to the White House last year. The most recent case was this week when 52-year-old Lorenzo Saldago was shot dead by an ICE agent while in his work truck in Houston. The U.S. government says the agent fired in self-defense after Saldago, who had lived and worked in the U.S. for over 30 years, attempted to evade arrest and weaponized his vehicle in an attempt to run over an ICE law enforcement officer. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 3 and 4 degrees, peaking at highs between 20 and 22.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 South. That's in the city of Tshwane between the Proof Plus interchange and Atterbury Road. That's due to an accident there. There's also queuing traffic in Irene along Nelmapius Drive towards Main Road while traveling in Joburg. Some delays on the Mark 1 North between the Kilani Bends and College Drive.
The top story this hour, former State Security Minister Bongani Bingwa has exhausted all legal avenues to challenge the Supreme Court of Appeal's decision to revive his corruption case.
Welcome to Nando's Taste-Demonials. It's the flavor! Real reviews by real people. Nadine from Belito is no scallop, but she did call the flame-grilled half chicken in Nando's unique peri-peri recipe with a single side of your choice for $125 dope. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, sorry. Relax, Nadine. The only thing we're busting here is your hunger. Okay? Nando's. Oh, what a place.
As a business owner, you're always looking for ways to save money. But have you looked at saving on your business insurance premium? With Outsurance Business Insurance, you could save big, like Bosman Stem High School, who saves 3,705 Rand a month. How much could you save? Make the smart business move. Switch and save with Outsurance Business Insurance for educational institutes, law firms, real estate agencies, computer services, and all other businesses. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed, insured, and FSP. T's and C's and information online.
Light the fire this weekend with Checkers. We have everything you need to keep the braai and the fierce going strong. Get deals like Farmstead pork rump, porterhouse or ribeye steak for only $99.99 per kilo. Championship boerewors, thick or thin, for just $109.99 per kilo. And Simple Truth lamb riblets for only $179.99 per kilo. Valid until 12 July. Only at Checkers.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hey Clement, hope you're good. So talking about weird gifts, 2 years ago my house burned down, and my brother Timisha Masha went out and he's like, no dude, I'll be back. I just want to take care of you guys. He went to the shops, comes back with a boot full of clothes for everybody, for me, my wife, the kids. But my plastic bag in particular, besides having jackets and jeans and whatnot, had underwear. I was like, bro, you bought me underwear? He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's weird, right? Yeah. But I appreciate it, man. You're the first man to buy me underwear, and I appreciate it, dog. Thank you, man. I appreciated my weird gift. That's the P.
Well, at least it's your brother who bought you underwear, I guess. Because I'm trying to find ways to okay it.
I don't think it's okay. It doesn't land. No. As a gift.
I think I would get my brother underwear.
As a gift, or just as, you need it.
Maybe as a gift.
No.
Why not?
No, come on, no.
That's interesting. Because if I'm shopping for, let's say, underwear, and I'm like, oh, I think my brother, this is good, it's good quality, my brother would appreciate this. What is wrong with just grabbing that and saying, hey, here's a little gift?
A birthday gift, or just a random here you go.
Oh, so the issue, Kate, it mustn't be a birthday gift, but it could be.
No, it mustn't be. Just a random here you go. I thought this is good quality. Here you go.
All right. So, what is that awkward, weirdest gift you've ever received? We're asking this question because the Turkish president, Recep Erdogan, gifted NATO leaders with revolvers, with live ammunition at the NATO summit in Turkey. And we've been asking you to share some of the weirdest, awkward gifts you've ever received.
Morning, Clem and your team. Clement, have you ever seen Nissi's fleet of cars? If they don't do lifestyle audit in government, it's just we're just blowing a hot air here. These guys won't stop whatever that they're doing. Have you ever seen his fleet? It might be the richest CFO in South Africa right now. Thank you, Clement. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. And that's why I've asked the question. This decision by the City Council, does it indicate a no-tolerance attitude towards this kind of behavior? I mean, to be fair, the CFO is going to face disciplinary proceedings in the city of Tshwane. But I think there's an opportunity here for council members to say, we cannot have a CFO who's busy having friends whose brothers are tendering with the city. And they're asking the CFO for assistance. Help me out with my brother's tender. You shouldn't be having conversations like that as the CFO. And for the city council to come out and say, well, this is less serious. That's how they've classified it. And don't justify it with what legislation says, because as a city, you also have an opportunity to change your regulations, your legislation, to ensure that there's more effective accountability mechanisms. And I guess that's the point that I'm raising. It's 40 minutes now. 20 minutes now before 8 o'clock.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. And we give you a chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, it's 1,000 Rand for the answer. And then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. So all you have to do is SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance. If you don't, you can ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Karabo, who is in Kempton Park. Karabo, good morning.
Good morning, Clement, and how are you?
I'm all right. Please give us today's answer.
And today's answer is Tayyip Erdogan.
Tayyip Erdogan is the answer today. And Karabo, have you recently requested a quote from Outsurance?
Yes, that's correct. I'm a member of Outsurance.
Well, guess what, my friend? You have won 1,000 Rand. Congratulations to you. Thanks to Outsurance and 702. So Karabo has given us the answer, and that's Tayyip Erdogan. If you know what's the question, you can be the 7th caller right now on 011-883-0702. T's and C's on primemediaplus.com.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, good morning.
Good morning, Clement.
France is through to the semi-finals.
Yes, they are. They're through to the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup. They beat Morocco 2-0 last night. We'll have more for you in the World Cup desk at the end of this bulletin. In the meantime, the Springboks take on Scotland tomorrow at Loftus at 5:40. Kane and Moody on what he's expecting from the Scots.
Yeah, very, very, very dangerous. Very tech-minded team. And, they got the ball players to do that. So, they saw on the weekend against Argentina that they know how to play the ball wide. So, we got to have a good prep and make sure we are ready for that.
At Wimbledon, Karolina Muchova saved a match point and got through a deciding tiebreak to beat Coco Gauff 6-2, 1-6 and 7-6, securing a first Wimbledon final. Gauff is not completely disappointed.
There's a lot of positives. Obviously, got super close and definitely going to think about the last point or
I don't even know, second, third last, whatever point for a while. But overall, I think it was a positive tournament for me. A match to for sure remember. I mean, it's tough to digest, but oh no, I'm happy.
Mukova will play Linda Noskova, who beat Kostyuk in straight sets. Men's semi-final today, Frey against Zverev up first, followed by Sinner and Djokovic. And in cricket, England beat India by a massive 9 wickets in the fourth T20 to win the series with 1 match left. Chasing 159, Brooks smashed 79 from 35, Salt with 59 from 42, taking them to the win with 6 overs to spare.
The EWN World Cup Desk. The latest scores, the biggest stories, and the moments everyone's talking about.
Well, Africa's dreams at the World Cup are over. Morocco, the last of the 10 African countries left in the tournament, lost 2-0 to France. After a goalless first half, Mbappe opened in the 60th minute for his 8th goal of the World Cup, alongside Messi for the Golden Boot now. 6 minutes later, Dembele doubled the score. France wait to see if they play Spain or Belgium. Those two sides go head-to-head tonight at 9 o'clock. Belgium goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois.
And Spain is a great team. I think they are one of the favorites to win it. So obviously we start as an underdog against them, but as a football, everything is possible, and I believe that we can win.
And then tomorrow, England against Norway at 11. England without Quincy, who's banned for 2 games for the red card shown in the Mexico game. They're also stressing over injuries to Rice, James and Goyi, who all set out of training. 6 of the players in the Norway team play in the English Premier League. Morgan Rogers says it's not just Erling Haaland they have to worry about.
Has anyone ever stopped Erling Haaland? I'm not sure they have, but you're going to have to try. He's such an unbelievable player. The things he does, the numbers he puts up, you're just in awe of how good he is, and he's so deadly in front of goal, and we got to be aware of that. We got to know that. But also, it's not just him. They've got other good players as well that we play against regular basis in the Premier League. And yeah, they're a really good team. I think that's what their biggest super strength is, that as a team, as a unit, they're so strong.
Haaland, meanwhile, is looking forward to coming up against his club teammates.
Even before the Brazil game, I didn't expect. And right now, I didn't expect it, to be honest. To be quarterfinals with Norway in the World Cup is quite surprisingly even for me.
So kick-off for England-Norway tomorrow night at 11. The last quarter-final will be Sunday morning, Argentina against Switzerland at 3 a.m. Cindy Palooza, Eyewitness News Sport.
From kickoff to the final whistle, this is the EWN World Cup Desk.
EWN Traffic.
15 minutes before 8 o'clock. This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amu, I see there's a truck that's on fire.
That's correct, Clement. That's in the Omondi area. It's right along Xavier Street. So if you're heading towards the M1 exit, please try to avoid Xavier Street if you're coming out of Omondi. It's causing heavy delays at that turnoff already. So please try to avoid at all costs. And then if you are making your way towards Sandton, we've got delays on the Mike 1 North. This is between Halton Drive and Corlett Drive. There's also queuing traffic reported along the N3 North. This is between the Airlines Interchange and Van Buren Road. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
45 minutes watching your favorite team play goes by quickly, but 45 minutes stuck in traffic, well, that feels like a lifetime, right? Thankfully, the Outsurance pointsmen are here to save the day. These heroes in green and purple have been easing traffic congestion for the past 20 years. The Outsurance pointsmen, helping everyone get where they need to be quickly and safely. Just another way you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, show them some love online using hashtag pointsmenlove. Outsurance is a licensed insurance FSP.
702.
What's the question?
All right, so earlier on we got the answer from Karabo, and the answer today is Tayyip Erdogan. And Pusetso is our 7th caller on the line from Pretoria. Pusetso, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. So if today's answer is Tayyip Erdogan for 2,000 Rand in cash thanks to Outsurance, please tell me what's the question.
The question is, who's the Turkish head of state who just gifted the other head of state who attended the NATO meeting recently with personalized guns?
That is indeed correct. Congratulations, Pusetso. Congratulations to you. You have won 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. And yes, it was the Turkish president, President Erdogan, who has gifted NATO leaders with personalized engraved revolvers with live ammunition at the NATO summit in Ankara this week. It's 12 minutes now before 8.
Outsurance can't improve your karaoke skills, but they could improve the car insurance premium you currently pay. SMS out to 45142. Get a quote today, and if Outsurance can't save you money on your car insurance premium, ask for 500 Rand cash. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Get a quote and get savings or cash. Either way, you win. SMS out to 45142. Want all the bells and whistles of car insurance at a great price? It's time to switch to Outsurance. Not only could they save you some big bucks, you also get the legendary out bonus that pays you a percentage of your premiums back if you're claim-free. So, are you ready to switch and save? Don't miss out. SMS right now to make sure you always get something out. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
As we gear up for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk hosted by the city of Joburg on Sunday, the 26th of July, we're inviting you to help us make a difference this winter. 702 Weekend Breakfast with Guks Mhlungu together with MES Homeless Shelter is running a clothing drive and would love for you to be part of it. If you have pre-loved clothing, warm jackets, jerseys, blankets, toiletries or any non-perishable food items, please can you donate them? Drop the items off at our 702 studios at 15 Fredman Drive in Sandton. Together, we can bring warmth and dignity to those who need it most. Every single item makes a difference. MES is a registered not-for-profit company that has been changing the hearts of the inner cities of Johannesburg, Cape Town, Gqeberha and Kempton Park since 1986. 702, let's walk the talk.
Mavis, I wonder if I should sell my car. I'm not sure where to go.
Wanna sell your car, but don't know what to do. You don't have to go far, we come to you. If you're rolling on a 1.5 or a Lacquer 2.2, doesn't matter what you drive, we buy cars once you.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
You're up before everyone else. You're building something real. Absa Business Banking, powered by Visa, gives you everything you need to get going. Open a business account in 10 minutes. Buy a point-of-sale device for $799 and get a credit card all in one place. We get it. Running a business is hard. Your banking shouldn't be. Search Business Starter Pack. Your story matters. Absa is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, team. Like you're from Kliptown. I just want to say thank you, Katu, for fighting for accountability. There's hope for Ekurhuleni under your leadership, and not many will do what you are doing. So continue to fight and clean up Ekurhuleni. Thank you very much.
Clement, the city of Ekurhuleni is so rotten to the core. What must happen is that whole supply chain department, every single one must get audited, checked, and the rot actually, like you said, the rot gets rooted out.
Yeah, listen, I've said before that if you think this rot only exists in Ekurhuleni, then we're being naive. Can you imagine if the Madlanga Commission went deeper in the city of Johannesburg? I mean, we've got a little bit of what happens or what happened in Tshwane, but that's not even enough, which is why I've once asked, maybe what we need to do is to start some kind of petition to extend the work and mandate of the Madlanga Commission. And we can discuss the mandate or what new form the commission will take, but my goodness, this commission could help expose more crooks in these metros, and that may serve as a crime deterrent. And we're just so grateful for what they've been able to reveal. But there's a lot more from where all of this comes from.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Kabazela, good morning.
Good morning to you, Clem.
The first video I watched, I was actually giggling because that's exactly what I do when I return from holiday. Tell our listeners what this video is about.
I picked this one just for you because you're an avid traveler. So, the two things about traveling, right? You've got to pack the suitcase, which is fine. It's not too bad. But then after you've had the wonderful holiday and you've worn all your clothes and the shoes, you come back and then you've got to unpack the suitcase. And there's two kinds of travelers. There'll be those that as soon as they get home after the holiday, they will unpack the suitcase. They will, sort out the clothes that are dirty and clean, washing machine or washing basket, and pack the rest away. Or there are those who just leave the suitcase, and they'll leave it maybe for a day or two or a week or 3. And the reason we're talking about this is a woman posted a video on her TikTok. So her and her partner, they go away, come back. Immediately as she comes home, she unpacks and she cleans the suitcase. So she cleans it on the outside and gives it a big wipe down. Whereas the boyfriend or the husband, 3 weeks later, he's still taking clothes that he wants to wear out of the suitcase. So which one are you? You're the latter, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I am not unpacking my bag as I arrive from holiday or the next day. I need time to settle back. So what I normally do, it doesn't take 3 weeks, but the longest I've kept it open and unpacked is like maybe 4 days. I hope that's not too bad. Yeah, 4 days. 4 days, yeah. And if I need stuff, what I'm learning to do lately is I'll take out the dirty stuff, right? Yeah. And then if there are clean stuff I've not worn still in the bag, then I'll just come to the bag when I need some of that. But after 4 days, I know it will be unpacked. Is that bad?
4 days, I think, is fine.
It's not bad, right?
I think that's okay.
I thought so.
I think there's people who are far worse. There's somebody who I live with, no names mentioned. She may leave it for a while.
Oh my goodness!
In a room,
Yeah.
But let's put it out there. What kind of traveler are you? Are you the one who leaves the case for a while, or immediately when you get home, do you unpack and sort out the dirty and the clean and do your thing? And is cleaning your suitcase a thing? I don't think I've ever had to clean a suitcase.
I've never cleaned my suitcase.
Yeah. No.
How does it get dirty, guys? It just goes into a plane and, you don't walk around, you don't roll it on a dusty street, do you? So, okay, give us a call or send a WhatsApp voice note to respond to that. What kind of a traveler are you? 072-702-1702. And then you also have a video for us of someone who talks about some of the memorable things. In fact, it's something that's memorable that was seen in a taxi.
Yeah, so this guy, when he gets into a taxi, he always has something that he's eating or drinking, and he films himself. And now you watch the reactions of the people that are sitting in the taxi with him. They're looking at this guy and thinking, okay, what's going on here? But now I don't know about this. I've only been in a taxi twice in my life before. I was never a regular commuter. So is it etiquette to be eating chicken licken in a taxi where you've got people, all time at different times of the day that are getting into the taxi with you? They could be hungry. And when somebody eats chicken licken or something nice there and they open it in front of you.
You can't open chicken licken and you're not sharing it. That's
you can't rude. Not. You smell that, and the mouth starts to water, and you think, I wish I could have some of that. So eating in front of people, I'm not sure. But let's take a listen to what this oak says.
Once you make it in life, not everybody will be happy for you. Now I'm the bad guy for eating chicken licken in a taxi. But don't forget to record yourself.
Yeah. No. And he recorded himself in the process.
He records himself all the time.
There are some people whom the only opportunity they have after a very busy day is when they're seated in a taxi. Like someone has been working the whole day. They manage to go via KFC or chicken licken, and then they get into the taxi immediately. So are we suggesting they must just be hungry until they get home an hour later? Okay, everybody says yes.
And also, by the time you get home, it could be cold.
Right? And those little ones at home may want to share in with you. So I say, have it before you even get home. 072-702-1702. What are some of the memorable things you have seen in a taxi? And do you think it's good etiquette to eat in front of people who are not eating? If you're in a taxi, you're having chicken licken? Share your thoughts with us on 072-702-1702. Kabazela, thank you.
702.
702.
Feedback.
With Rupfiwa Kone.
Ropfiwa, have you seen weird things in a taxi before?
There's a lot of weird things in the taxi. There's change wars where the change doesn't come back correct. There's someone who didn't pay, or the total amount that's supposed to go to the driver is short because there's someone who missed payment. There's a lot of
Or
things.
someone speaks English?
Yo.
In a taxi?
Yes.
Well, if you're brave, sure, go ahead and speak English. But yeah, you will get the answer.
Especially from the taxi drivers.
Yeah. Well, let us call in. What feedback do you have for us?
Well, Bongani,
Yeah,
Clement.
everybody's calling me Bongani this morning. It's okay. It's a good name. I'll take it.
Clement, people are reacting strongly to Gareth Nissi returning to work. Many listeners say it doesn't sit well with them. Have we seen the amount of fleet of cars he has? And even though they say he has been cleared, they just feel like there's something amiss there. There are people in positions of power that may be protecting him, and listeners are just not happy about his return. And they are also saying that he might be the highest paid CFO they have ever seen. And also, Bongani, Clement.
I am Bongani today.
I'm sorry about that, Clement. Listeners are also reacting to your conversation about gifts, with one particular listener asking that if you are going to spend on him, instead of worrying about the packaging of the gift, he'd rather you spend more money on the gift itself. But let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, Clement, this might not be exactly the answer to your question, but when it comes to gifts, for example, if somebody gives me a 100 Rand bottle of wine and then they spend another 150 Rand on a box and a wrapping paper and a ribbon and a nice this and a nice sticker and a birthday card, man, why not just rather stick a 250 Rand bottle of wine in my hand and with nothing else, nothing fancy? I'd rather spend it on the gift than on the wrapping from Rustenburg.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, thank you so much, CM Tanda. Oh, sorry, Rafiwa. I'm joking. It's 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Police are confident they have a tight case in the fight against corruption in Ekurhuleni, and the new agriculture minister allows farmers to get their own FMD vaccines. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Police say they have not ruled out any further arrests in the corruption case involving current and former senior Ekurhuleni officials. Retired City Manager Imogen Mashazi, EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi, HR Head Linda Xashega, and the Head of Legal Services Kemi Bihari appeared in the Germiston Magistrates Court yesterday. Their case is based on allegations that Mkhwanazi was protected from disciplinary action over an unlawful blue light deal involving vehicles linked to suspected crime boss Vusmuzi Kat Matlala. Mkhwanazi and Bihari were each granted 50,000 Rand bail and are expected to be released from custody today, while Mashazi and Xashega are expected to apply for bail today. Madlanga Commission reports.
Police say they're confident in the strength of their investigation as they continue with the case. The NPA alleges that 3 of the accused, including suspended HR head Linda Xashega, fraudulently increased their own salaries after reportedly blocking disciplinary action against Mkhwanazi. Prosecutors say Xashega's annual salary was increased by more than 600,000 Rand in 2023. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mates says the allegations highlight the scale of the alleged corruption and the serious implications of the Blue Light saga.
Obviously, this would give Kat Matlala that opportunity to bypass any roadblocks because these particular vehicles would then be registered under EMPD. So he would evade, justice and so on, and he would be free to do any other criminal activities.
Mate has also warned against the illegal use of blue lights, saying law enforcement will continue to crack down on offenders. Madlanga Commission, Eyewitness News.
And evidence leaders at the Madlanga Commission will start leading testimony this morning relating to the investigative directorate. The commission will hear applications from 2 witnesses to testify in camera. The outcome will inform the commission's way forward. Modise has more.
The Madlanga Commission will address the testimonies of 2 witnesses today, referred to as witness N and O. Various witnesses will present evidence pertaining to the conduct of the investigating directorate and its head, Andrea Johnson, relating to the criminal complaint against General Feroz Khan. They'll also testify on alleged interference by former NPA head Shamila Batohi. The witnesses will bring the application to have their testimonies partially in camera. One of them, a crime intelligence officer, considers herself a whistleblower and wants her identity concealed. The commission will make its ruling on the way forward this morning. Eyewitness News.
New Agriculture Minister Willie Okamp has reached a settlement agreement with organizations that took the department to court over its foot and mouth disease vaccination program. Subject to legislative loopholes still to be overcome, Okamp has agreed to allow the private sector to import its own vaccines. Okamp has been in his position for at least a week now since taking over from John Steenhuisen, whose undoing is largely believed to have been as a result of his clashes with farmers on this matter. Lindsay Dentlinker has more.
Minister Willie Okamp met with farmers groups yesterday to dampen the tensions over government state-controlled vaccination program. He says the agreement reached will not impact the mass vaccinations, but will rather ensure more vaccines flow into the country. This despite his predecessor, John Steenhuisen, saying it had been difficult even for government to ensure a steady pipeline of vaccines to deal with the rampant outbreak.
There is absolutely no way in which government on its own would have been able to solve the foot and mouth crisis. It would not have been possible.
But industry will first have to cross the bridge of becoming registered importers by the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority. It's a hurdle SAI chairman Theo de Jager believes can be overcome.
The challenge now is to get as many vaccines into the country as we can.
In the meantime, de Jager has appealed to farmers to stick to government's rules on the import of vaccines and the vaccination of cattle. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
And at least 28 people have died in a fire at a shoe factory in eastern China. More than 500 fire and rescue workers were called to extinguish the blaze. People were seen taking refuge near the windows and on the roof of the building while the blaze raged in the lower floors. The company owner and several others have been detained and their bank accounts frozen. Gold is trading at $4,113.73 an ounce. The rand is at 16.30 to the dollar, 21.89 to the pound, 18.65 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $76.60 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays along the N1 North. This is just as you head towards Sunny Hill. An earlier accident is causing these delays. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N3 North. This is between the Elands Interchange and Van Buren Road.
And in your sport, Mbappe and Dembele sent France the World Cup semi-finals with a 2-0 win over Morocco. At Wimbledon, Mukova beat Goff and will face Noskova in the women's final tomorrow. And after a tough start to the year, Volko Low is grateful to be back with the Boks for tomorrow's game with Scotland.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 20 and 22 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Police say they have not ruled out further arrests in the corruption case involving current and former senior Ekurhuleni officials.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
On Sunday, 26 July, 7:02 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk unites us all in the iconic Joburg CBD.
7:02
Walk the Talk. Enter now on primemediaplus.com.
7:02
Live
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Seven minutes after 8 o'clock. Dumelang, happy Friday. Welcome to the third and final hour of 7:02 Breakfast. Clement, aka Bongani, in here for Bongani Bingwa today, but Bongani should be back with you on Monday. Thank you so much for staying with us here on 7:02. So, we're taking your calls now, some of your WhatsApps as well, responding to the conversations we're having on the show today. But here's some heads up. Just after 8:30, we're going to give you an opportunity. If you're a small business out there, we're going to give you a chance to win your share of 100,000 Rand. We do this every Friday. until the 31st of July, thanks to business budget insurance on 702. So it's very easy. If you're a small business listening now, I'm asking you to go enter on primemediaplus.com and answer these two very easy questions. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business. And the second question is, what is your next move in your business? And then get an obligation-free business insurance quote from Budget Business Insurance. And if you do that, we could be calling you and you could win 25,000 Rand cash to fuel your next big move, thanks to Budget Business Insurance on 702. 8 minutes now after 8.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, listeners. Clem. When I travel quite a bit. As soon as I get to a hotel, whether it is 1 day, 2 days, or 5 days, I unpack my bag into the cupboards and the wardrobes as if it's my new home. Yeah, even if it's as little as a day. Then I wipe out my suitcase and I pack it away, give it plenty of air as well. On my return, as soon as I return, regardless of where I'm coming from and how long my travel took, I unpack, I reset my wardrobes, and immediately put my cases for being cleaned. That's how I am. It works. Gives me joy. Cheers. Enjoy the Friday.
Yo, that's so interesting. So you have to unpack when you get to the hotel? I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. I'm not unpacking. Do you know how difficult I find packing to be? I'm the type of guy who packs on the day. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm traveling for a month or for 3 weeks, or I pack literally on the day. Like, I'm traveling today and I'm supposed to leave at 10. When I finish the show at 9, I'm going to pack. I cannot pack days before because I feel like I'm going to forget something.
Don't you think you'll forget something doing it last minute?
But if I pack much earlier, then I'm not too... Because what do they say when you put on your CVs? Like, you perform well under pressure.
That's you.
And if I'm too relaxed, I'm going to forget to pack something. But when I'm rushing, everything comes to mind. So if I have to unpack at the hotel and pack again when you leave the hotel, I'm sorry. That's too much for me. I can't.
Good morning, Clement and the 72 lenders. I leave my suitcase for like a day or two. But however, I make sure that as I pack my suitcase before I travel back home, I separate the dirty clothes and the clean clothes. So normally on day one, I would open it, remove all my dirty clothes, throw them into the basket. On day 2 or 3, then I just start unpacking the clean ones. And as for washing my suitcase, not really. Unless if maybe there's just a few things that I need to dust out. But yeah, that's how I do it. Thank you.
Kabazela and Clement, my last vacation was in January this year. So when I come back, when I'm on vacation, basically, I usually make sure that on my 2 suitcases, the other one, I'm going to put only dirty clothes, and the other one will remain with clean clothes. So as I change, I make sure that the clean clothes move to the other bag, and then only the one bag will contain dirty clothes. But that bag with clean clothes is still not unpacked today. Well, not completely unpacked. The jacket that I didn't wear, even the other sneakers, the underwears I didn't wear, as well as socks and shorts that I didn't wear are still packed in that suitcase, waiting for the next vacation.
Yeah, no. Did you say since you traveled in Jan and unless I misheard you there, some of the stuff that's clean still unpacked? That's fascinating. More of your WhatsApps on 072 702 and 702.
Good morning, 702, and to you, Clement. With me, I think I can always buy my brother underwears, and I've done it before. And you guys must also know that underwears are also one of the items that are not easy to buy, I'm telling you. So if maybe say I've even noticed that maybe his are now somehow especially when maybe we're staying together. I can always get him a pair or something. Thank you, Mbuyiseni.
Hey Clement, how's it? I remember speaking about gifts. Sorry, we had a family member who was a school teacher, and they used to every year compare all the gifts they got from the kids, and they got some really, really shocking gifts. So if you're a parent and you're buying gifts for your teachers, just give a little bit more thought to that. They used to get stuff like snow globes and golden horses, and then those cats, those good luck cats that bring you money with the that wave their paws at you and everything. So why don't you ask school teachers to phone in and let them tell you the weirdest gifts they've got at the end of a year?
Yeah, please let us know. What are some of the weirdest gifts? Do you gift your children's teachers, guys? Yeah, because I went to a friend's house one time and I found them. It was hectic. They were busy packing gifts because they were gifting their child's teachers at school. And I was surprised. They said, no, this is actually usual. They do that. I was like, but isn't that like bribey?
I feel bad. I feel bad now because I don't do that.
No, apparently, yeah, they do. They do that every single year. They have to just send just a little gift to the teachers. Even the sports coaches, they send gifts every single year. I was so surprised. So do better, Amu and Mateo. It's 14 minutes after 8.
EWN traffic.
The teachers deal with a lot, hey? They do.
They do.
Just appreciate them. Your
and
kids
we do appreciate them, and we
are
tell
a lot,
them.
guys.
I tell them that, I appreciate you.
How about we tell them with the gift this year? Okay.
Pay school fees.
How are we looking on the roads? On the N12 East, there's still that crash.
There is indeed, Clement, in the Eldorado Park area. It happened right near the Golden Highway. It's causing heavy delays. There's also queuing traffic reported on the M1 North approaching Corlett Drive. Please be on the lookout. Roadworks are causing these delays, and there's more roadworks happening on the N3 North between the Airlines Interchange and Van Buren Road. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
This week, your team, the stationary bike, and 25 minutes to make an impact. The CEO Cycle Challenge 2026 is back, and businesses are invited to enter a team of 4 for a high-energy studio cycling challenge at Woodmead from 31 August to 4 September 2026. Ride in support of education and opportunity for talented South African children, while giving your business the chance to connect with other leaders. Entries are now open. Visit ceochallenge.co.za and enter your team today. CEO Cycle Challenge 2026.
This week on MasterChef South Africa, the competition reaches a major turning point. The top 5 are one cook away from becoming the top 4. And this Black Apron Challenge is all about elegance, pressure, and tiny details. So this week, the home cooks are given a high tea challenge, complete with sweet and savory bite-sized treats, beautiful presentation, and one cocktail-inspired element. The contestants must create 3 different treats with 5 portions of each. Every bite needs to be dainty, balanced, refined, and finished with proper top 5 finesse.
So today is about the glam and the glorious. In front of you, you have a host of classic cocktails. One of these will provide the inspiration for one of your beautiful bite-sized morsels. We have over here a tequila margarita, a fave, a pina colada, we have a strawberry daiquiri, the classic Aperol Spritz. Mojito!
I love mojitos. The only cocktail I drink, actually, it's a mojito. Outside of that, I'm an avid wine drinker. I'm sommelier, yeah.
Catch MasterChef South Africa this Sunday at 6 p.m. on ETV or stream it on eVOD at watch.evod.co.za.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Take us through your market research. How are people engaging online? Because I would have thought when it comes to social media, it's not a problem.
It showed us that amongst adult South Africans, 61.8% are using Facebook. Now, this is up from last year or the previous year when it was 56%.
And Arthur Goldsack, founder of Worldwide Whiz.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by Absa Rewards. Get double cash back depending on your rewards tier when an African team scores and wins at the FIFA World Cup 2026, courtesy of Visa. Use your Absa Visa card at rewards partners on match days to score. Join Absa Rewards on the banking app. Your story matters. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
18 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's day 2 of Africa Unlocked 2026, hosted by Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking. This is one of the continent's leading business conferences, bringing together influential voices from business, government, and finance to explore practical ways to accelerate growth. And this year's theme, Built in Africa, Amplifying Continental Growth, puts the spotlight on the opportunities and partnerships needed to build a more competitive and connected African economy. Jacob Mashukwa, who is the 702 correspondent, is there to bring you everything you need to know. Jacob, good morning to you. The Africa Unlocked conference is now in its second day. What is expected to come out of today's proceedings?
Morning, Clement. So today's conversations will touch on the economic overview of African countries and, of course, how they can better align with each other. Another hot topic will be the merging of small to medium enterprises and how they can better scale their operations by including the youth when increasing their workforce. There'll also be a panel discussion a little later today, which I'm very excited to sit in. It'll be featuring Sim Chabalala, the CEO of Standard Bank Group, Kennedy Mbekani, who is the DG at the African Development Bank, as well as Makhoshi Lekete, the CEO of the IDC. Now, these are, of course, the big contributors in Africa's growth story. And they are all saying that the African growth story is still very, very young and has a lot of room to mature.
Why does Standard Bank position itself as one of the leading financial institutions to encourage the African Continental Free Trade Agreement?
So the African Continental Free Trade Agreement has over 40 nations under its belt, and it's committed to growing Africa's industrialization and, of course, the economic diversification. And Standard Bank's Simone Cooper, who is the head of South Africa's business and commercial banking, says events such as these are key to growing their partnerships with businesses beyond South Africa's borders. Let's have a listen.
We're represented in 21 markets across the continent, and so something like the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement is critical for us to be working with the players in the industry, ensuring that we can drive trade. One of the cornerstones of what we're trying to drive from a business and commercial banking perspective, which is why we're actually here at this conference, is how do you get more trade across the continent?
Okay, so it's quite clear from what we've heard yesterday and what we'll hear today that the African economy is quite ripe for growth. But what's the consensus on the ground regarding the global economy, which is currently feeling the effects of these geopolitical tensions?
The people I'm speaking to on the ground, Clement, they're just saying it as it is, that there's an entrepreneurship mentality amongst so many Africans, which can't be compared to any other continent. Instead, they're saying industries and institutions on the continent need to shape Africa's economy without relying too much on geopolitics and what's going on in the likes of the Middle East, the areas that affect major countries outside of Africa. I mean, just to put it into context, Clement, Africa is home to nearly 1.5 billion people, and by the year 2050, 1 in every 4 people on Earth will be African. Why can't Africa have its own economy without relying on international geopolitics?
Yeah, Jacob Mashukwa, thank you so much for all the latest coming out of the Africa Unlocked 2026 conference hosted by Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking. Keep listening to 702 for more exclusive insights, strategic highlights, and impactful updates from Africa's premier platform for business economic dialogue, Africa Unlock 2026, hosted by Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
23 minutes after 8 o'clock. Adam, good morning.
Good morning, Clement.
So let's start in Bangladesh, because they're facing one of its worst outbreaks in years. What's happening there?
Yeah, measles, which is an easily preventable disease, easily spread through breathing, coughing, sneezing, etc., but also it can be deadly. So Bangladesh has suddenly seen, since March, so that's why it's sudden, 4 months, 120,000 cases and 750 people have died from measles. Most of them are children. The casualty rate there is not good. The World Health Organization says actually Bangladesh was well on the way to eliminating measles completely. Vaccination rates were above 90%, not quite at the magic 95%. That's seen as the herd immunity target for getting rid of measles and indeed other diseases too. But because of problems, delays in vaccine orders, itself almost certainly caused by political turmoil, bureaucratic change, maybe a bit of financial mismanagement. So the vaccines haven't been getting to the people, and lo and behold, there's been this terrible outbreak. And until they sort out the vaccination, of course, it will continue. And they're not the only country. We've seen even in the UK and US, vaccination rates have slightly tailed off. People think it's a done deal, and back comes measles, and it can be fatal.
Yeah. Okay, so let's now talk about this gift that the Turkish leader gave to the NATO leaders. I couldn't believe it, that he gave them personalized, engraved revolvers with live ammunition at the NATO summit.
With ammunition. I know, those personalized, with their names on them, Magnum revolvers given to each and every one at the NATO summit by President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. What was he thinking, given that it is illegal, I think, in every country in the world to import firearms? I don't think there's a single country that lets you do it, unless you do it through the proper channels, of course. And the proper channels are not here, have this gift, see if you can smuggle this home. The Belgian Prime Minister, Bart de Wever, said that he didn't know what the gift was until he got home, and then he got challenged by airport security. Can you imagine? He could have been arrested, of course, for importing the wrong thing. A number of them, the British Prime Minister, the Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, the Dutch Prime Minister, they left their guns behind in the Turkish capital, thinking that there's no way they want to just go there and do that. Don't know what happened to Donald Trump's gun, you wonder. But the deal is that you just can't give people guns with ammunition as gifts. It's just, I mean, except in exceptional circumstances, maybe. I don't know. Here you are, NATO leaders. How about having some hashish, a concubine, and a surface-to-air missile? Maybe that would have gone down okay.
That's it. Okay, now we know that celebrities have, a fan base, but then you've got the Swifties. Yes. I cannot believe that there's a New York artist who's selling pieces of rubbish that were collected outside Taylor Swift's wedding venue.
Absolutely. Not just Swifties, but Kelsey's as well. Mr. and Mrs. Kelsey's big wedding at Madison Square Garden left behind a lot of trash. Enter Justin Gignac, who is a New York artist. He makes art out of New York rubbish, out of litter. He pounced, dressed in a tuxedo, so people might think he was a kind of wedding guest left over. It was the next morning, after all. He went around the whole venue of Madison Square Garden picking up litter. We're talking water bottle caps, ring pulls, some of the caution tape that had been put around, straws, utensils. An AirPod was one of them, although I think that would be rare. Cigarette butts. He picked them all up, has put them into Perspex cubes, into these clear plastic cubes. They're all sealed inside, and has sold them. And in case you're thinking, I'll have one of those, he sold all 1,300 cubes for, roughly speaking, $30 a pop, plus postage and packaging, which makes him $32,000 richer, or R500,000 from selling a load of trash. Honestly, people really will buy rubbish, won't they?
Wow, unbelievable. Adam Gilchrist, thank you.
EWN Business.
27 minutes after 8. Motel retailer Edgar's, they're planning for some major expansion after years of financial troubles.
Yeah, Clement, Edgar's plans to open 50 new community stores after cutting more than 100,000 square meters of retail space and also slashing annual rental costs by 150 million rand. The strategy is to own smaller retail units with smaller rental expenses. The major cut in shop space resulted in a 6 million rand profit improvement. The retailer is now preparing to open smaller new generation community focused stores over the next 2 years, with the first sites breaking ground in July and August. The company says it will also pour into its standalone 18-store Edgar's Beauty network. 6 years later, after its parent company Edcon collapsed into voluntary business rescue, Edgar's is hoping to post a strong comeback in the retail market. The retailer is owned by the South African retail giant Pepkor, which acquired the brand's parent company Retailability in late 2025.
And then Sapi, I see their shares have jumped.
Yeah, it's been a rough time for Sapi, but they're saying the new mill could turn things around. Shares in Sapi jumped almost 15%, the most since October of 2020, after the group announced a strong sales forecast for its newly minted mill in the US last year. The paper manufacturer concluded a $500 million expansion project to Somerset Mill in Portland, USA. Sapi says it expects its expansion of facilities to boost group revenue by as much as $300 million a year. The paper and packaging company has struggled with weak demand, lower prices, and geopolitical tensions. A big rebound for the JSE yesterday, up more than 1,000 points as mining shares came through, up more than 3%. Banking stocks were also stronger by more than 0.5%. A big win for Telkom. They were up 6%. The share value at Karoo also up more than 6%. MTN Group was up 5%, with Anglo Gold up 3.9%. Major losses for WeBuyCars. They were down 4.7% yesterday. Naspers, the JSE darling, down 3%. Aspen Pharmacare was down 2%, with the beer makers AB InBev down 1.7%. The rand this morning strong against the dollar, 16 rand 28 against the US dollar, 18 rand 62 against the euro, and you need 21 rand 88 cents to get yourself a British pound. Price of gold is flat this morning, $4,117 an ounce, while platinum is up more than 0.5% at $1,634. Brent crude, for those petrol and diesel prices, up at $76 a barrel this morning. More business from The Money Show and Stephen Grotes later this afternoon.
Exactly 8:30. Swiso Zulu has the latest in Eyewitness News. Good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. Customers who bought selected Spa yogurt products are being urged to return them to the stores. The National Consumer Commission announced the recall yesterday of a range of yogurts and active drinking products. These products sold across Spa stores nationwide have a sell-by date of 9 August 2026 and a use-by date of 12 August 2026. Maki Mulapo has more.
The National Consumer Commission says the product recall affects Spa fat-free, low-fat, double cream and indulge double cream yogurt, as well as Spa active drinking yogurt. The Commission says a machine malfunction during production caused product blowing, which may cause changes in taste, smell and appearance. A total of 3,987 products have been recalled, including 11 Spa yogurt and active drinking yogurts with a variety of flavors. The Commission is urging consumers to respond promptly to product safety recalls and direct any questions and queries to productrecall@ncc.org.za. Mikey Molapo, Eyewitness News.
Former State Security Minister Bongani Bingwa has exhausted all legal avenues to challenge the Supreme Court of Appeal's decision to revive his corruption case. The Constitutional Court dismissed his application for leave to appeal this week. The ruling means the Supreme Court's order that Bongo's corruption trial must start afresh before a different judge stands. Bongo is accused of attempting to bribe Parliament's former legal advisor in 2017 while serving as an ANC MP, allegedly to derail a state capture inquiry into Eskom. Ntutuzelo Nene has more.
Bongani Bingwa was acquitted in 2021 after the trial court granted his application for a discharge at the close of the state's case. But in 2024, the Supreme Court of Appeal set aside his acquittal, finding that the trial court had wrongly discharged him. The court ordered that the trial start over before a different judge. In a final bid to avoid a new trial, Bongo approached approached the Constitutional Court in April this year to challenge the SCA ruling. The Apex Court refused to condone the late filing of his application and denied him leave to appeal, saying the matter had no reasonable prospects of success. The decision paves the way for Bongo's corruption trial to begin again in the Western Cape High Court. Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News.
Telecommunications giant Telkom is putting money behind artificial intelligence in South Africa. It's pledged 100 million rand to establish a new AI institute that's aimed at equipping South Africans with related practical skills. The announcement was announced yesterday in Switzerland during the International Telecommunications Union's World Summit on the Information Society. Annalita Fandese reports.
Telkom says the institute will focus on practical job-ready AI training, with young people, small businesses and underserved communities expected to benefit the most. CEO Serame Taukobong says South Africa's challenge is no longer just getting people connected to the internet. He says the next digital divide will be between those who have access to AI skills and those who don't. The investment forms part of Telkom's Vision 2030 strategy, which aims to position the company as more than a telecommunications provider by helping develop the skills South Africa needs to compete in an increasingly AI-driven global economy. Annalita Fandese, Eyewitness News.
And the government in Mexico plans to lay criminal charges over the death of Mexican immigrants in the wake of U.S. President Donald Trump's mass deportation campaign. At least 17 Mexican citizens have died while held by immigration and customs enforcement or during raids in the U.S. since Trump returned to the White House last year. The most recent case was this week when 52-year-old Lorenzo Salgado was shot dead by an ICE agent while in his work truck in Houston. The U.S. government says the agent fired in self-defense after Salgado, who had lived and worked in the U.S. for over 30 years, attempted to evade arrest and weaponized his vehicle in an attempt to run over an ICE law enforcement officer. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 20 and 22 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N12 and the R24 West. Roadworks are causing these delays between Edenville Road and the Kilulisa interchange. If you are traveling towards Sandton, do expect delays on the M1 North approaching Corlett Drive due to an accident.
The top story this hour: customers who bought selected Spar yogurt products are being urged to return them to all Spar stores.
Peregrine Capital presents Brian Habana's Count to 100.
In my journey to 100, it started with my first cap, then my second, 10th, 50th, 90th, 99th.
Brian Habana, his 100th international test.
You get to 100 one decision at a time. For 28 years, Peregrine Capital has applied that same discipline to turn 1 million rand into 100 million. Peregrine Capital. Invest in performance. An authorized FSP. Past performance not indicative of future performance. T's and C's apply.
The 139 million rand Powerball Extra cascading jackpot has been won. 3 people walked away with over 45.7 million rand each. The tickets were bought on the Standard Bank and FNB apps and one in-store at Checkers Hyper in Alberton. Don't forget to play Powerball this Friday. The total estimated Powerball jackpot is 24 million rand. The next winner could be you. The National Lottery. More play, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizekaya.
Ready to go?
No, can't.
Your mother raised you. She can look after him for one day.
But he's just a baby.
He's 7.
Just a baby.
I've packed his favorite toy and blanket.
Okay, just grab his Hills food.
Always.
We know that you only want the best for your small dog, which is why Hills has developed expert, science-backed nutrition to meet the unique needs of small dogs and help them live their best lives across their longer lifespans. Hills Pet Nutrition. Science does more.
Coming up, your chance to win 25,000 Rand for your business with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza from Budget Business Insurance on 702. Enter on primemediaplus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one is, and then get an obligation-free Budget Business Insurance quote, and we could be calling you. T's and C's apply.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
In the team,
concerning Kabazela's topic about eating in a taxi. Clement, spedisserie. So if you are eating, especially chicken leg in a taxi, you must share around batung. So you must share. So yeah, if you don't want to share, then keep it until you get home. Sure.
Who do you share with? I mean, a taxi takes how many people? 12? Huh? Or so. And when maybe regular 6 pieces of chicken leg. So who do you share with? Or maybe you share with the person you're next to.
Right next to, yeah.
Yeah. And just offer. Maybe they'll say no or not, but just make
and
an
hope
offer.
they say no.
If you don't want to share.
Mr. Clement and team, thank you very much for the effort that you guys are doing to bring us up to date with all the latest and being up and out so early in the morning. Keep well and enjoy. Thank you. Bye.
Good morning, Clement and 702 listeners. Clement, one thing that I really want to give it up to you is the courage that it took you, the strength that you had just to clean after us. Because if it was someone, he was going to pick up the call and phone their helper and say, OC has messed up, please take care of it. But that courage, yeah. For how long have you kept the OC? For you to experience OC's mercy today?
Yeah.
I can't judge. I'm just asking Clement. It's Max here from Honeydew.
Morning, Clement. Wait until you have a baby and the baby vomits on your suit or a chogosa. Boy, you'll be strong. Ask the Mateos and everybody else. You'll get strong, boy. You'll get strong. Me? Yeah, Shem, I had to get used to cleaning somebody's wound. You know, I can clean, poo, everything. Blood, man. It's blood. But I had to get strong. The day I cleaned after my father's blood, after he was shot dead and he was lying in a pool of blood. And I cleaned that blood. That day, I became the strongest of all because adrenaline took over and that was it. Thank you.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I can only imagine how traumatic that must have been for you. Sure, it's 20 minutes before 9.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Polita, good morning.
Hello, Clement.
The Springboks are taking on Scotland tomorrow.
What a weekend of sport we have this weekend. And I know we say it regularly, but jeepers, it's this weekend. Springboks against Scotland tomorrow at 5:40 in the Nations Championship. For Volker Lode's an emotional return, having lost his dad earlier this year and he's battled bronchitis, missing the URC.
It was a difficult and a challenging year from January. It's incredible being part of a team that supports you, not just when you're wearing rugby boots and a rugby jersey, but through all phases of life and wherever you are, you've got not just your family supporting you, but an incredible team and people who really look out for each other.
Tomorrow morning at 7, the All Blacks against Italy, followed by Australia, France, Japan, Ireland, and at 3, Fiji hosts England. World Cup quarter-final tonight, the world number 3 Spain against Belgium at 9 o'clock. Belgium goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois.
And Spain is a great team. I think they are one of the favourites to win it. So obviously, we start as an underdog against them, but as a football, everything is possible, and I believe that we can win.
The winner will face France in the semi-final after France beat Morocco 2-0 through Mbappe and Dembele. Tomorrow's highly anticipated quarter-final game, England and Norway, kicks off at 11. Norway's Erling Haaland.
So I think that's a key for my daily life, to joke around and of course train good, of course focus well and prepare well, but you also need to joke around and you need to enjoy the moment. Just as we play in the World Cup, we just have to enjoy it because nothing lasts forever.
Sunday morning at 3 a.m. Argentina against Switzerland. At Wimbledon, the men's semi-final today. First, Zverev against the local favourite Frey. That's at 2:30. After which, it's another big showdown. Sinner and Djokovic scheduled for 4:30. Here's Djokovic.
Coming fresher from several months of preparation, it's a bit different now. Nevertheless, I still try to prove to myself and others that I'm able to compete with the best players in the world and beat them in the biggest stage. And it's what I've done in Australia, and hopefully I can do it. A few more matches here.
Tomorrow, the women's semi-final, Mokova against Noskova. Drama at the Tour de France. The race leader, Torsten Tryon, crashed on stage 6 and was later rolled out of the whole race. The stage was won by Pogačar, who now has the yellow jersey after finishing the stage 2 minutes ahead of Vingegaard. And in cricket, England beat India by a massive 9 wickets in the 4th T20 to win the series with 1 match to go. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
17 minutes before 9 o'clock. Amo has the wrap of your traffic on 702 Breakfast this morning. How are we looking, Amo?
Well, Clement, we still have got that accident in Eldorado Park along the N12 East. It happened right near the Golden Highway. It's causing heavy delays coming out of Spirit Valley Road. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North towards Van Buren Road. That's due to roadworks, while travelling on the N12 as well as the R24 West bumper traffic between Edenville Road and the Kilulis interchange. In the city of Tshwane, most incidents have cleared, but we're still seeing delays on the R80 East Mabopane Highway just as you approach Eskom-Pahlele exit. I'll have more updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
It's that time of the year. Sore throats, congestion, wet and dry coughs, pain and fever. For trusted relief for you and your family, ask your pharmacist to recommend a winter survival pack from the Adcock Ingram OTC range. With products like Medikil A, Expigen, Corenza Parac, Adconapamol, Dilinct Junior and more, we have you covered this winter. Remember, Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Smart business decisions save money. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's JC from Blonde Hair Studio.
I was with my previous insurer for many years before switching over to Outsurance Business Insurance. I'm really happy with the premium I'm paying now, and switching was definitely one of the best decisions for my business.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0800 60,000. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
Right, gang. Are we all in? Liam? Here. Ethan? Here. Andrew? Here. Luca? Yeah. Amelia? Yeah. Violet?
Yeah, Mom.
Introducing the Chungun CS75 Pro. A powerful turbocharged engine, modern safety features, and room with 7 seats. For everyone.
Hey, that's not everyone. You forgot Choppy, Mom.
Oh, Choppy. The all-new CS75 Pro. Chungun. Driven to evolve.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
15 minutes before 9 o'clock. Bratibos is here to tell us what's coming up between 9 and 12. How are you doing, brother man? Gimnat.
Straight to the show, 9 to 12, open line, as you would know, so everything goes. We also want to understand a little bit about Madlanga Commission, the extension. Who else needs to come through? You've spoken about that a couple of times, Clement. And does this give the Commission ample opportunity to ventilate other issues, bring in more witnesses, maybe touch on the city of Joburg as well as they have touched on the city of Ekurhuleni?
I've tried to make an argument this morning, which I've made on my own show a couple of months ago, that perhaps what we need to do is have a conversation about extending the work and mandate of the Madlanga Commission. Look, I understand the commissioners may have other commitments, but there's something about the trust that this commission has from majority of South Africans.
Yes.
And there's something about the impact we've seen the commission have in less than a year of its establishment. And I think instead of a national dialogue, for instance, I would take that money, let's put it into the Madlanga Commission, let's go and extend that mandate. Because can you imagine what we've uncovered in Ekurhuleni? Imagine what more in Tshwane? What more in the city of Johannesburg?
Exactly, and other municipalities. I think you're on point there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our president for 2029, Mr. Clement Manyatela. I think you're spot on there. I have nothing to add. Spot on. Yeah. So between 10 and 11, across the desk, we are speaking to good news journalists that are saying We always focus on negativity. We choose to focus on the good news. 11 and 12 on our relationship feature. Have you ever felt unseen and almost unwanted in a relationship, but you still stay there? Have you ever settled for less? And we'll be talking about settling for less in a relationship between 11 and 12. All that and more between 9 and 12.
All right, that's Brad Tibos coming up after the news at 9.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning, Clement and the team. On gifting teachers, my daughter is now in high school, grade 8. I use a primary school every year. End of the year, I used to gift, I make the gift, like I pack it up and it would be a little hamper, but the main thing would be the wine. I always pack wine. I always wish I could pack and send a whole truck of tequila or vodka for the teachers. They should it should be sent to the schools because while they go through a lot, not that my daughter gave that much issues,
Trouble.
but I just think they need to have a good time and a bottle of wine just does it. Pumla, ciao ciao.
Hi Clement, my kids are Tara from Northcliffe. My kids are in preschool and I definitely send the teacher a gift at Christmas time every single year. Just a small token of appreciation, man, because the small little things that they do, the small little things they let you get away with, now and then you like to pick them up. Just something small to say thank you, I appreciate you. Although I don't think my daughter's teacher's getting a gift this year. She's absolutely terrible. Can't wait for the year to finish. Yeah, well that's it. You have to buy the kids teachers a gift, man.
Hi 702 team, hope you're good. Happy Friday. Depending on how long I'm going for, if it's 3 days, I won't necessarily unpack, but my suitcase must be neat. So you get those laundry bags in the hotel. So whatever we've worn must be folded, packed in the laundry bag. That's the dirty clothes. And then the clean clothes stay in the suitcase. And then when we pack, the dirty clothes must go into the zip of the suitcase in the laundry bag. And then the other side must have clean clothes. I can never mix them. When I get home, I do not sleep without unpacking and throwing the dirty laundry in the machine and hanging it. That's just me, guys. Perfect like that. Thank you.
Perfect like that. Yeah. So how do you do it? Are you a type of person that as soon as you're back from holiday or from a work trip, you unpack your bag immediately and you spring wash it because that's what other people do? Or do you, even when you get to the hotel, you start unpacking your bag to put it in the cupboards at the hotel? Is that how you do it? It's interesting hearing from different people. This is, of course, arising from the conversation we had with Kabazela on What's Gone Viral, where he told us about a video of this woman who really, literally unpacks, very different to what her partner does. She unpacks as soon as they come back from holiday and washes the bag, whereas her partner waits until like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later to completely unpack the bag. So how do you go about it? It's going up to 9 minutes now, before 9 o'clock.
Sporting Bet's Millionaires Cup is live, and your shot at up to 10 million rand is on the line. A pass, a tackle, a strike. Moments make the game. This one could make you. Take on a series of thrilling missions and climb your way to millionaire status with every stage of the tournament. Bet now at sportingbet.co.za. Could you be our next millionaire? Sporting Bet. Betting amplified. T's and C's apply. Sporting Bet is licensed by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No under 18s may gamble. WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710 or contact the SARGF toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008. Winners know when to stop.
It's always the same with you. I want this, I need that, and somehow I am always the one paying for it. I think we need a little time apart. Not forever, just long enough for me to build some interest again. After all, distance makes the funds grow stronger.
Give your money time this July savings month. Open a Nedbank 32-day notice account on the Money app and earn up to 7.55% interest with 0 monthly fees. Go to nedbank.co.za. See money differently. Nedbank. We're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Your next big move starts with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza and your share of 100,000 Rand. Thanks to Budget Business Insurance on 702.
So, today 702 and Budget Business Insurance are putting their money where South Africa's entrepreneurial spirit is with the Budget BizBucks Bonanza on 702 Breakfast. We're giving small businesses the chance to win their share of 100,000 Rand. We'll be doing this every Friday until the 31st of July. And what I asked you earlier on is to go and enter on primemediaplus.com and tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one is, and then get an obligation-free business insurance quote from Budget Business Insurance. And if you did that, well, we could be calling you with 25,000 Rand cash to fuel your next big move, thanks to Budget Business Insurance on 702. T's and C's on primemediaplus.com. We've got our possible winner this morning, Noxolo, who did exactly that, went on primemediaplus.com to enter, answered the questions, and also got that obligation-free business insurance quote. Noxolo in Claremont. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fine, and you?
I'm good. Before I even ask you the boldest move you've ever made for your business, can you just explain what your business does? What are you into?
I'm into hair and beauty. My salon, it is Knox and Beauty Salon, which is based in Claremont. I do all kind of hair, including knotless, snoop, straight up, installations.
Okay, so what's the boldest move, Noxolo, you've ever made for your business or in your business?
I actually quit my job of being a sales agent and focused on my business, which is Knox Hair and Beauty Salon.
Oh, so that must have been quite the sacrifice you took there. So
Yes, because I wasn't happy with the payment, so yeah.
Okay, and what's your next big move?
Oh, my next big move, I'm getting my business branding, social media pages where I will advertise my work, buy other salon equipment like mirrors, cabinets, and sink with a stand.
Oh, that sounds like a plan. So,
Yes.
here's an important question, Noxolo. Have you received an obligation-free business insurance quote from Budget Business Insurance?
Yes, they did contact me.
Well, guess what, Noxolo? Congratulations to you. You have won 25,000 Rand cash to fuel your next big move. Thanks to Budget Business Insurance on 702. How are you feeling?
Yo, I'm so excited. I'm so excited that my business made it into a radio and everyone is listening to me.
Ah, beautiful, Noxolo. So,
thank you so much.
there's some 25,000 Rand to action those big, bold moves in your business. Thank you, Noxolo in Claremont. Now, for your chance to win next Friday, enter on primemediaplus.com. Tell us about the boldest move you've ever made in your business and what your next one is, and then get an obligation-free business insurance quote from Budget Business Insurance, and we could call you. Plus, one lucky business could win the grand prize of 100,000 Rand. Search the Budget BizBucks Bonanza competition page online and enter. T's and C's and more on primemediaplus.com. Now, you're out there making things happen, meeting clients, growing your hustle, turning ideas into invoices, but life's unpredictable, right? That's where Budget Business Insurance comes in. Get an obligation-free quote in minutes and protect the business you've worked so hard to build. Because when you are bold enough to start something, you deserve the right cover to keep it going. Visit budgetinsurance.co.za today. Budget Insurance is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Clemmy and Cabazela, yeah, I once saw an elderly lady passing a packet of peanuts to a young man, and she said yes, he cannot eat it. But as he was getting off the taxi, I saw her also throwing away Landsbar wrappers. So yeah, it got me thinking. So those peanuts were in the Landsbars and she could not eat it. So yeah, you make up your own mind. Have a good job, bye-bye.
Good morning, Clement.
Now I understand that caring is sharing, eh? Sharing is caring or something like that. But nowadays, I'm telling you, you share with people, they don't say no. People don't say no. So just chow as much as more than you who bought the food. Thank you.
Yeah, but then wait until you get home then. No. If Otabora people will
My
eat
thing
too
is
much.
buy and sit there. Because, I mean, if you are eating in the taxi, that means obviously you don't want to share with the people at home and you didn't buy for them.
Yes, but some people are working the whole day, right? If I knock off at 5 p.m. and I need to rush home because maybe I have a church service at 6, you don't have time to sit at a chicken licking or KFC. Is you want to take that 2-piece, get into a taxi and eat while you're on your way, because when you get home, you need to change, go to church or other commitments that you may
You
have.
stayed the whole day without eating.
Because you've been busy.
Keep it up until you get home.
Who
Then
busy?
you can eat
And then
your
you
food.
sit next to a toddler and then let's see.
Right?
Yo, I
Mhm.
can't, yeah,
You'll
like
never
there.
get to share your
yeah,
meal.
there you. yeah, no. But I just think just offer. And if you don't want someone to take the offer, just hope that they say no. But it's a bit awkward to just have
If
chicken.
they say, who
licking in
told
the
you I'm
taxi.
hungry? Why are you offering food?
Yeah, then you say, hey, I was just trying to be nice. It's quite a tricky one.
Morning, Clement and 702. Look, even though your body has left the holiday, but your mind is still on holiday. A suitcase is only emptied on a case-by-case basis. You put it in a corner. When you need your toiletry bag, then you grab it from the suitcase. When you need a pair of shoes that are in the suitcase, then you grab them from the suitcase. Eventually, when laundry day comes around, then the suitcase is emptied because it's laundry day and things need to be washed. But a suitcase is never emptied immediately. You need to stay in that holiday mindset as long as possible. Great show as always. Cheers.
Good morning. When I come back from holiday, it's normally from the UK. So I fly into Tambo, then I have to catch a flight to Durban, and then I get a shuttle to Scottsboro. And when I get home, I empty my suitcase. I even do the washing that night, and I put the rest of the stuff away. Thank you, Sina.
You even do the washing on the day that you've just returned from your travels.
Doing laundry is a bit extreme, but I unpack my suitcases. I mean, there's for the whole family, and the clean aside, dirty things aside, and I pack away the suitcases and make sure that the house looks neat.
Yeah. Are you the packer for the family?
I am the packer.
Even for your husband?
Even for my husband. It makes life easier for me.
Yeah, because then he forgets other things.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Do they pack for you? Do you pack for
No,
everybody?
I pack for myself, but I think I agree with the listener that's saying you need to stay in the holiday mode. It takes a few days to
Just
a week
prolong
for
it
me
a bit.
to unpack because by unpacking you're basically saying this thing is over.
done.
You're
You
going
can
back
look
to
at the pictures
back
on
to
your
reality.
phone.
No.
Yeah, quite something, hey? All right, our time is up. Thank you so much for listening to the Friday edition of 702 Breakfast. Tibos comes up just after the news now. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Police say they have not ruled out further arrests in the corruption case involving current and former senior Ekurhuleni officials. Retired City Manager Imogen Mashazi and EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhonazi, HR Head Linda Klashega, and Head of Legal Services Kemi Bihari appeared in the Germiston Magistrates Court yesterday.